Oh, yeah, I should probably be in the room when the intro ends. Hello, welcome to Easy Does It. I am Easy. I'm doing it. Talking about, we're talking about some Chicago Bears stuff, of course. Also, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, which is coming up on Sunday. Maybe one day the Bears will be back in it, folks. That's the dream. Really went downhill since 2006, didn't it? But, we're all excited. You can't be a football fan and not be excited for the Super Bowl unless it's like the Packers versus the Patriots or something. But even still, you find something to root for in the game. It's always fun. It's always going to be fun. And I'm excited for sure. I'm sure we all are. Place my prop bets and everything. Don't worry, Mom. Didn't bet too much if you're listening. But yeah, should be a great game. Also, most important thing I want to say is a sincere congratulations and mazel tov to Devin Hester, Steve McMichael, and Julius Peppers, the traitor, but we love him anyway, on making it into the Hall of Fame. Very well deserved. All three men, were excellent players in their time in Chicago. Obviously, I don't feel like the Bears could claim Julius Peppers because he was a Panther. He was definitely a Panther throughout his career, but he still had a couple All-Pro seasons with the Bears and was very, very good for us. So he is a former Bear who's in the Hall of Fame, which is cool. But really, and I love Mongo. Obviously, putting together a Steve McMichael reel earlier this year, I got to see just how much of a force he was, just from a pure physicality standpoint. Like, it's not no X's and O's, no intelligent football stuff behind my analysis of him. He was just a big guy, like a huge man that they needed two or three guys to block pretty much every play. So yeah, congratulations to Mongo. Very well deserved, and congrats to Misty, his wife. She's just getting to talk to her a little bit during her time with the network. She's a super nice woman, and it's just like great for her, great for him, great for their family. So congratulations to them. And of course, the Windy City Flyer himself, one of my personal sports heroes growing up, Devin Hester. That's it's about damn time the man makes it into the Hall of Fame. The dude returned so many kicks for touchdowns, kicks, punts, field goals, all of it. Well, a field goal in 2006 was cool. And not to mention, that's one thing, we could all talk about his touchdowns. We could talk about how he was, a decent receiver, made a career for himself as a receiver. But really, people forget that, teams had to kick it out of bounds against him. No one wanted to kick to him. And, even when they did, there were a lot of returns that he had that didn't go for touchdowns that still just completely flipped field position. So he was the best returner of all time. And it's very cool to see a guy like that make it to the Hall of Fame. Anyway, that's enough of an intro. I've been talking a lot. Got a couple people I want to bring onto the show. We got, first and foremost, the coach of some high school program in somewhere in New Jersey, New York, something like that. Turned his football squad program around. They never won a game, and then he helped lead them to the playoffs, which was pretty cool. And that is my good friend, offensive lineman Noah Gross. Sorry, Noah, I'm terrible at intros, as you know.
It's 20% accuracy, which honestly I'll take from you at this point.
Yeah, that's I'll take that 100%. That's almost Mendoza line.
Yeah, I will happily take Mendoza line from you at this point.
Yeah, but that was accurate. You coached at you helped coach a high school team.
I did coach at a place in New York, New Jersey. This is accurate.
Yeah. Well, not New Jersey. I don't know why I said New Jersey, but yeah, New Jersey, New York, whatever. Not same thing. Don't worry. If there's any New Yorkers listening, it's not.
I'll call it the same thing. I don't care. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, anyhow, no, great football mind. Always good to have you on the show, Noah.
Happy to be here as always.
Maybe I'm excited. I know you have some opinions that a lot of people associated with this network really need to hear. And with that in mind, I'd like to welcome someone who just embodies Chicago, everything about Chicago, and such a Devin Hester fan that he's very much ready to introduce himself in that way. What up, Mr. C? Welcome to the show. Big number 23.
Yes, sir.
2 3s up.
That's
two of them, man. Two of them.
Yeah,
this is actually my favorite. The throwback is my favorite jersey of the Bears. Fun fact, real quick about Devin Hester. So I'm actually related to him by marriage. So his cousin is actually married to my cousin.
Dang.
So
shit, man, get him on the show.
Listen. I've been hitting him up since we got word that he's getting all. I'm like, man, listen, please call him and tell him I'm such a he was one of my favorite Bears all time and a relative. Like that means the world to me. And the fact that I got 2 Devin Hester jerseys.
Yep.
I actually just ordered me a Devin Hester, like one of those 8x10 pictures of him returning a punt. So it'll be pretty soon too. So man,
you got
and much congrats to him. This is very much so deserving. He's the greatest fucking return man to ever play this game. Shout out to Mongo for making the Hall of Fame as well. That entire 85 Bears team can't be duplicated. You cannot make the shit that they did up, man. That was the greatest force that this professional football league has ever seen, and will ever see.
They were so good that we can't stop talking about them.
Exactly, man. And to see Mongo make it, man. You know, obviously, and even with Julius Peppers, he gave us 3-4 years, and he was great.
Four solid, four
great years where he had
3 great years and 1 solid one. You know, he was always really good with us.
Absolutely. So we somewhat claim him, but we obviously know he was drafted from North Carolina over to Carolina. So obviously he played more years over there, so they're going to give him that. But I mean, the fact still remains: Chicago Bears, we have the most Hall of Famers of all professional football teams. So kudos to us, man.
Yay, us.
Yes, sir.
Congrats,
yes,
man.
sir. Bears,
it is cool. It is, it is.
A cool fact. No, for sure.
Any distinction, I'll take any distinction, man. Although we do need to unretire some of those jerseys because, we're really not letting people wear 3 because of Bronco Nagurski. Come on, we gotta get that away.
Listen,
anyway,
I wouldn't allow nobody to wear this jersey though. I can't allow that.
Yeah, I get that.
Again.
But look, okay. I have a counter to that because I feel like everyone who's worn 23 for the Bears, Jerry Azuma, then Hester, Kyle Fuller, it's a good number. It's a good number.
Well, here's the thing. Chicago, the city of Chicago needs to retire the number 23 for more reasons than one. So
because
Ryan
Sandberg.
That's just my opinion.
Because of Ryan Sandberg, of course. The great Ryan Sandberg.
That's exactly what that's for.
Although, no, I mean, I shouldn't make fun of Ryan Sandberg was a great player, and on a sad note, he was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer. So shout out, props to not props. What's the word? Mad respect for Rhino and his family, of course. But no, obviously we're talking about Michael Jordan.
Definitely pulling for him. Definitely praying for him and his family.
Absolutely,
of
course. Yes, of course, Trey, the Rhino. And yes, we will be tuned in. I didn't realize we have the Hall of Fame game, but that's pretty cool. And I'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I didn't even know they announced that yet. So
okay, I don't know if
it's in August, I imagine.
Yeah, it's probably in August. But all I know is I think 4 of the 5 times we've had the Hall of Fame game, we made the playoffs. So that's hey, you know what? We hang our hats on anything.
I didn't say a word.
You didn't say a word, but I saw your reaction.
We'll move on to that.
We'll move on. But I want to invite, just speaking of, Hall of Fame players and speaking of, former Bears and Panthers, Carolina could claim Julius Peppers, but they can't claim this next man that I'm about to welcome on the show, a man who has intercepted many future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and, a lot of all-pros as well, including, Noah, your boy McNabb, although he was a Redskin at the time. So you probably didn't mind that. But we got, a great guest. Love chopping it up with him, the great DJ Moore. How's it going, DJ?
It's going all right.
Yay.
Fun fact.
Yes.
I teach biology, and when you said I married into the family relative, it does not work like that. Yeah,
actually it does, but okay.
It does not. Okay.
In Jewish culture, it does.
Actually, it does. So again, we're cousins in law. So I appreciate.
Yeah, that's made up.
The Jewish word for that
at all, but okay.
The Jewish word for that is
how in-laws work, but that's an extended family. So, but okay.
In-laws. Again, we're still not related to each other. But again, I know it's a word, but we're not blood related. I didn't get genetic information from. Never mind. You're right.
We could.
No. I'm related to Devin Hester. So
no, you're not. Keep going.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you're also blood related to him, and there's just a problematic incest line. No, you know what? We're not going to go down that route.
If it started with 2 people at some point, I guess it traces back to something. But
I guess we could all go back. We could all go back to Noah, not this Noah, the other Noah.
You better hope not this one.
The boat. Anyway, DJ, welcome to the show. Obviously, always great to talk to you. I do want to ask, a couple of your former teammates just made it to the Hall of Fame. I'd love to know, of course, you have any words for them? You have any, stories about your experience playing with them? And like really, I have some specific questions about Devin Hester about if you ever went up against him in practice. I'm sure you could have locked him down as a corner, but if you ever had to tackle him on special teams, what was it like going against these guys? And you got any fun stories about
you had to block for him. I think you gotta give them congratulations, but you also got to give the guys like Dave Toll, who's a special team coach with all his touchdowns, and I mean most of them anyway. Because the special team was, they took time out of practice and made sure, like Hester back there, you need to block for him. He ain't got no. You out there getting him killed. But I think the coolest thing for me was because even when I came out of high school, I did punt returns, kickoff returns. Nobody kicked me the ball. And I used to watch him at Miami all the time. And I always had this little daydream thing where he would be I would return a kick and they'd be like, oh, they look so much similar or whatever. I think I lost about 50 yards on this kickoff return. Whatever. I ran around for about 10 minutes. I remember telling him a story about it because I used to always before punts, I would always think what would he do kind of thing. And then and that's one day I was just talking to him hey man, I've always been a big fan. Once you in the locker room with him, it's just a little bit different. And then I got to kind of be the backup punt returner, which was cool. You ain't gonna be the starter punt returner.
Right.
The fact that the starters were actually out there blocking for him, though, that's incredible.
Yeah. So
right.
But it was cool just being there or hanging out with him at his house and stuff. And he had this big little horse racing game and all this other stuff. So we ain't kin, but we teammate-in-laws.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that works too, man. That works too.
Just as valid.
What was it like playing with Peppers, man?
Oh no, it was good. It was almost perfect, really. Under Lovie Smith, you always had a good defense. So his thing was it was all about the defensive line. And they made it easier for everybody because without the defensive line, Erlacher, Briggs, everybody else gonna look. We gonna just look bad.
Yes.
And especially with playing cover 2, it's just everything is on time. So when the quarterback look this way, we can move. Coach always say if they look back the other way, don't even worry about it. It's on the defensive line. So when you have a Peppers, he was just athletically, he was different. He even made practice different because we would do a pursuit drill, so everybody had to run to the ball. But when Pepper would come, I said he was running, passing people. And coach said, if that alignment pass you up, we're gonna have to keep doing this. And if you weren't running full speed, you can forget it. But I'd never seen him lift a weight. He was just 300 pounds athletic. I ain't never seen him lift a weight, work out in the weight room, none of that.
Wow, that's
great. If it makes y'all feel any better, 20-some odd years later, we're doing the same drill in high school.
Huh?
Oh, you're running the same drill?
That's quite literally my go-to conditioning drill is punt return and pursuit. Because I got one kid that I know is going to outrun all my other kids, and I go, you didn't catch him. Everyone back online. To this day, punt return pursuit drill is maybe the most hated conditioning drill in high school football. It's like that and bear crawls. Those are the two. Those are the top two.
Yeah, that checks out.
When we did it, now they all the same, but I think because we just did defensive pursuit, but it's all punt pursuit drills the same. But it's actually probably one of the best drills because it teaches you
angles and absolutely.
So if I'm running at this angle, don't let the person cut back, and kids don't, especially when they're younger. I cut back and 9 kids fall over top of each other. Now you on YouTube highlights of somebody.
You're killing me, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
The concept of lane integrity is lost, just completely a foreign concept.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious to know how much emphasis was put on, hey, watch your blind side, because when you saw folks coming out of nowhere, just knocking people clearly out the damn screen, when you're watching the game from that blocking angle, it's like, man, listen, you want to run full speed at the person who's running with the ball, but you got to make sure you keep account of who the hell is coming diagonally at you full speed and ready to just knock you out off the damn field, though.
Yeah, well, some teams had, when you watch film, they would have plays where they would kind of hide behind the block and blindside you. It was always a couple people where it's like, hey, you need to watch him. Now, most of the time, organically, it just set up. I remember high school, I think I almost got my head took off. I'm just running, chasing the guy, running the kickoff. And in my head, I'm about to tackle him. And then all of a sudden, I'm just in the air flying.
Somebody cleared you.
Yeah.
Clear for takeoff.
All it takes is a bump. If I literally just bump you, no matter how big you are, that's it.
No, it's over. It's over.
When you run full speed, it doesn't matter how big you are standing there. Somebody running at you full speed, you gonna get knocked down.
In the NFL, I just love it. Like you see them linemen coming down the field.
Yeah,
I'm gonna catch one of them. Now once you catch them, they're gonna come back and get you. But they'll tell you, don't stand around the pile. Here come them 300-pound linemen, and you ain't gonna.
And I think that might be why Hester became a bit of a fan favorite, and like special teams guys in general can become sort of cult favorites amongst fans. There's a little bit of an element of like, okay, I know for sure I cannot stand in a pocket and rip a 40-yard like post route. Could I go out and kick return and get smashed? I think I could do that. Like, there's a little bit of like most people who come up through high school. I can tell you now as a high school coach, when I get first-year players, the first thing I start them on is special teams, because I know you might not be able to do a blocking scheme or fill a hole in the run game. If I tell you this is your guy, hit him, they can do that. Special teams, I feel like, is kind of like the intro into football for a lot of people who play the game.
Yeah, and I also think just more from that, and as you mentioned, DJ, you worked with Dave Tobe while he was there in Chicago, and I know back in I think he was with us in 2006 when we made it to the Super Bowl, and now he's the assistant coach of the Chiefs. I just wonder, he's been there since 2018, so he's got 2 rings with them. I wonder how much of an impact he's had on that team. Like if y'all had to speculate and guess,
Kadarius Toney punt return in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, that ripped your heart out.
That's not going to happen.
There's one for you.
No, but I mean, like in the last Super Bowl, Toney did have that big punt return.
Genuinely, and they've also in the last couple of years they've had, and this is not like this is a genuine thing. They've had really good kickers and punters. Harrison Butker, one of the best kickers in football. Tommy Townsend, one of the best punters in football. They have genuinely had elite guys at both those positions, which comes in clutch when you need it. When you need Butker to hit that 58-yarder in the snow, you kind of know he's nailing it. When you need Townsend to pin someone deep, he's kind of doing it.
Yep.
DJ, I want to know if you could speak a little to that, like the value of a special teams coach, because I know John Harbaugh was a special teams coach, and I feel like they see the game differently from a lot of people, just because they're getting the guys who are all like trying to make the team, trying to make maybe offense or defense, and I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of value in that, and I just want to know if you have any insight.
The value is that because some teams practice it more than others.
Right.
In Chicago, you took time to practice it, and then you've seen the results. You can really say Dave Tobe kind of gave birth to Tyreek Hill, because he started off as the punt returner, and everybody was thinking of him, and then he moved to receiver and did all this other stuff. But again, it's a part of the game, and you got to be willing to to do it. I think the one special team coach, Beamer Ball, Virginia Tech. They would always
Shane Beamer, yeah.
They would always do this.
I
think Jeff Fisher was the same way. They would always do some type of fake punt, a fake kick.
Right. Hey, Dan Campbell.
Known for it.
Dan Campbell,
Dan Campbell too. Yeah. So and even Sean Payton has done a lot of fake punts too.
And
it's a common thing.
Yeah, but when you have a good punt returner though, it's like with who did we play? Deshaun Jackson.
Man.
Noah and I were talking about him earlier.
Just talking about
it. That was scary shit out of me.
If you overkick this ball, he's going to run it back.
Gone. Yeah.
You got to angle it to the side. If you do not, that's going to be it. Yeah. I think Dez Bryant, like his maybe rookie year, he was like that. I think he
ran one back on you guys. I remember.
Hey, listen, he's telling you, there's certain people, and you practice all week. So again, like you're saying, you have the backups in, but hey, you got to get down there and make it happen.
Yeah, I remember actually specifically.
This is more of a. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elijah.
Real quick, no, I just want to say like that. Yeah, Dez Bryant, he was like that his rookie year, and I remember because he ran one back on you guys, DJ, and I think that was the game that kind of put you on the map a little bit, if I remember correctly, because that was. I seem to remember you might have had a really cool pick that game or something. I can't. I'd have to pull up your highlight reel again, but yeah, I remember that game specifically where Dez got y'all in 2010.
Yeah, that was when I believe that was the same game that Hester scored.
He had a one-handed touchdown catch.
He had a touchdown catch and I think a punt return, or was it a kick return?
No, it wasn't a return, because that was because I remember specifically because he went 2 years without a return for a touchdown.
Yep.
And then he did it Monday night against Green Bay in that uniform that you're wearing. So yeah, I remember
sure
that.
did. I remember that. But I mean, it fascinates me now to look at the way these receivers are, especially those that play special teams. When you think about Devin Hester's just impact on the game, you almost feel I regret it for him that he don't play in this era, because you see how Tyreek is being utilized and playing. And Tyreek right now is the most dangerous damn player in the NFL by far. Devin Hester was in that spot before Tyreek Hill even existed. So imagine if we had the right coaches and coordinators working with Devin Hester to fully utilize his skill set to be that dynamic, dangerous player on the offensive side as well as special teams. Man, he would have definitely been going to the Hall of Fame a lot sooner, and for more than just special teams too. Because
although I
do think they didn't really know how to play Devin Hester or where to play him. He can play corner, he can play receiver. They had so many different positions that they just tried him out, and they was just trying to see what would stick. But he was such a dynamic player coming out of college, coming out of Miami, that it was hard to even position him initially when we drafted him. So
right, and I do think I do seem to remember we drafted him to be a returner. Like for the most part, like, you know, he was going to play corner, but he was also a returner. But I want to ask, and DJ, this is kind of a question for you, and forgive me if I'm phrasing it weird, but so yeah, I want to talk about. I do think, by the way, Devin Hester made the Hall of Fame. Yes, obviously as a returner, but also like I think if it wasn't for the fact that he did have some success as a receiver, I don't know if he gets in. But he was, you know, a good deep threat. Like he wasn't like the best or anything, but you know, he made some plays. He had some pretty good receiving seasons and whatnot. But he wasn't like the most crisp route runner in the world. Like he was, you know, I feel like he could be bodied at the line a little bit. Like, you know, like there were definitely some.
When you got outrun every damn body, I mean, what does it matter? Like,
well, no, yes,
no,
you're right.
Fast,
you're right, but I mean, what does it matter is, yeah, if you could outrun anybody, then you know, I imagine the corner could just play off. Can you speak to that a little, DJ? And like, you know, maybe you went up against him in practice, and you know, I guess, you know, just the difference between, you know, like a good wide receiver and then a guy who's just really fast.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I love Devin Hester. This is tricky though, because at receiver he didn't really like pan out. I know you were trying to sugarcoat around it a little bit, but
he had some plays I remember.
Listen, again, just didn't.
But who do we credit that to though, DJ? Do we credit that to him, or do we do we blame the offensive coordinator and the coach for that?
That's a very fast answer.
It's not a matter of credit. It's a matter of like
blame more than anything.
When you're faster than everybody and you're skilled, it happens for some and it does for others. So when he got the punt return, boom, 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 he scores. But sometimes when you get a receiver, I don't know if he's thinking too much or whatever the case may be, it just wasn't the same. So, because my thing is like, well, if I have a kick returner and then if I have a receiver that gets in, like, should I pick the receiver? Because the body of work is almost like the Rivera thing with the Yankees. It's like, well, you're a reliever, but there's plenty of starters though. Like you're not doing as much as they're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But even though, like, I think because he's like Ray got, like, you're the greatest of all time, you get in.
Right.
If it was somebody,
I think Matthew Slater will get in.
Yes, if it was somebody already in, this may have took longer.
Well, I won't say that. I think he would have got in a lot sooner if somebody was already in, like Brian Mitchell or even what's the guy name who played with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Dante Hall.
Dante Hall is another one that has to be considered now because he was another person, not just fast, but he was quick as hell. Like his first moves was just gone, man.
Because Devin Hester was in, now he, like you said, he has to be pushed up there now. Like he has to be pushed, like, because he was. If he's A1, then the Hall had to be A1 minus a little bit because for a minute he was.
I also think that in the case of specifically Devin Hester, you know, he was obviously with Atlanta for a little bit. Yeah, like I guess you could say he didn't work out as a receiver, but I also think they kind of asked a little too much of him as a receiver. Like I think the Bears, like they kind of asked him to be the number one guy. and he never should have been the number one guy. Like he should have been.
I'm going to put this on the coaching easy. I'm going to say we didn't have the right coordinator.
I think he should have been used in more of
like
a.
Show you that
I don't know, like a Percy Harvin type capacity.
You got to understand something.
I'm going to be with D on this one and say he probably just an average receiver who was a really good punt returner, and that's okay.
Been, yeah.
That's an okay thing to be.
No, it's okay. But once the coach calls the play, it's up to you to make it happen. Yes. Dave Tope, now we can give Dave Tope credit for drawing up stuff, but he was running kickoff returns back through a lot of people that wasn't
jumping over dudes and
Oh yeah.
There weren't a lot of one lane go.
You have to make it.
It's also like, I mean, he had something that's underrated is he had an incredible balance. Because when I went back and watched a lot of his big returns, it felt like there are some plays where you'd see a guy who would trip and fall over. It seemed like he wouldn't really fall like as easy. Just kind of like
the most consistent thing that I noticed about his returns is he would make 2 moves and then he just gone. Like every single time, it never failed. Every single return I watched over the years, and just going back and watching those highlights, he hit boom, boom, bow, and he gone. Like if you don't touch him off that second move, you're not touching him. A lot of these times he didn't get touched at all coming out of the backfield, even kick returning or punt returning. But punt returning, I would feel like punt return, you would have more of those people coming at you a lot quicker than you will kick return, because kick return, you got your guys lining up to protect you initially versus the punt returning guys. They're running after the person who tried to hit you just so they can block for you. So it's different in that regard. But
I always say like I never blame, like as a fan, I never get mad. Well, this is not entirely true, but like after the fact, I never get mad at a punt returner for muffing a punt, because like returning a punt looks like the scariest job in the world, like the scariest job in the world. Because, and look, I'm a 5'8" Jewish guy. I'm not like, I'm not gonna return any punts anytime soon. So this is, a fan's opinion, of course, but like, it's just like you're waiting for the ball plummeting out of the sky, and then there's 10 guys running right at you, and their goal is to kill you. Like their goal is to take you out. I don't know. That's just always been like that. That's all. Like hats off to guys who can return punts, but that always looks like the scariest job.
And Hester, like he was so comfortable in that space.
Oh yeah,
he didn't think about that. He was like, "I'm gone. Ain't nobody catching me." Even when he muffed one, picked it up, and still was able to run that bitch back. I was like, "There's no way he getting this." And he
it was the one against the Vikings his rookie year. It was the one against the Vikings his rookie year that really did it for me, where he like zigzagged in and out a bunch of times and just like, and I think that was in the game that was like, I can't remember if it was 1 degree outside or if Rex Grossman's passer rating was just 1, but like I know it was frigid, but I don't remember what was lower, the temperature or Rex Grossman's passer rating. And I'm not like, this is not a joke. I truly like conflating. I always conflate the two. I don't remember exactly which one it was. Although
all I know is how difficult it is to return 2 kicks in the same game. That is highly fucking impossible now, especially
they're going to kick it out of bounds. Also, I want to bring up a comment that Trey mentioned. The rule change took this excitement out of KRs. Yeah, Devin Hester. Part of why he's in the Hall of Fame is because he ruined an element of football a little bit.
He's a game changer, man.
He literally changed the game in the sense that I still believe they got rid of they stopped allowing that wedge block thing because Devin Hester was too good at returning kicks.
Oh, that's I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. It's hyperbolic and not true, but go ahead.
But you said that's hyperbolic
and not true, but go ahead.
Well, you think it's because of injuries?
Yes, it's because it was scientifically proven to be the single most dangerous play in football.
Of course, it's that.
No, but that's kickoff.
You can't take that element out of the game.
No, but that's also, but no, like
that is why. Take the element out of the game,
that's just kickoffs in general. Kickoffs are the most dangerous play on like.
And the wedge specifically was the most dangerous element of the play, which is this is like right when the NFL started to pretend to care about that kind of stuff.
Listen, it's still making them lose money because you have
I absolutely agree. Not just him. Think about guys like Jacoby Jones lost money because of it.
Oh yeah,
there were other guys who had that Devin Hester mold of like decent receiver, elite returner. Jacoby Jones is one that pops into my head. And I'm curious your perspective on this. Do you think that a returner who is a receiver like a Deshaun Jackson, Devin Hester, Do you think they see their returns differently than someone like a Patrick Peterson or a Tyrann Mathieu, who is a DB and a returner? Do you think that changes how you feel?
Well, no, it's not. Well, like a Patrick Peterson in college, you return punts. Like I return punts, and to me, punt returning is the easiest because because all you need them to block are the faster guys on the edge. Because once you catch it, it's literally one wave. So for Hester, like when he goes and makes one cut, as soon as you make one cut and you get through that first wave, it's just a punter. At that point, it's like it's a breeze.
At that point, it's on God.
They may be barreling down on you, and even if you drop it, normally when you drop the ball, the returner always seems to run it back because
guys get out of their lane and they stop for a second. Right.
Lane integrity, people start to just say, "Oh, the ball's on the ground," and just lose their minds.
Noah, does that remind you? Is there a specific play that comes to mind when DJ brings that up?
There was one at the Meadowlands that was mildly well known that I may or may not have gotten grounded for cursing the TV over. But you know what? It was all in good fun.
Yep, that was a classic, and that also helped the Bears get the 2 seed that year, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, we're talking about the Deshaun Jackson punt return for a touchdown against.
But think about how Ed Reed and Chuck Woodson and those guys play punt returning too.
Yeah, or like
especially Chuck Woodson coming out of Michigan. He was a corner / punt returner, and he's still, yet to this day, the only defensive player to ever win the Heisman to this day. And so, but a lot of that is credited to his God-given ability to be able to return kicks and punts, more specifically punts. But I mean, it was just the excitement for certain guys, and you can tell by the way they approach that position in returning those punts. It's like, listen, I know I'm the fastest out here. You're not going to be able to catch me. Even if you get one hand on me. Now, for those who got caught, like from a punter, you're like, oh man, now you're pissed about that. You of all people, you let the punter catch you. Like, that has to be the most embarrassing thing ever, though.
But the one thing, and I want to put a bow on the Hester talk just because I want to talk about more present day things. Of course, I mean, no, we got to obviously respect that he just made the Hall of Fame and whatnot. But like,
yes, sir.
I want to say the main thing that I love about watching Devin Hester growing up is just the excitement you'd get on 4th down when it was time for them to punt, because you knew every time.
Scared him, man.
Every time you knew something was going to happen. You knew like either he was going to make a big play or they'd have to kick it out of bounds. But like you knew there was always the threat of him.
Just an electric feeling knowing you got someone back.
And listen, let's not take away from the fact that for the returns that he did make that wasn't touchdowns. He got us in great field position a lot of fucking times.
I'm working on a reel for my channel, the Easy Sports channel, where it's just Devin Hester's returns that were not touchdowns. I'm just trying to find all of them. What was it? What up, Lorenzo? Welcome to the show, my friend. Glad to have you here. Lorenzo, just so you know, there are going to be some opinions incoming that you might not agree with, but that doesn't mean I'm a hater at all. I'm going to get off the record, or I want to put on the record rather real quick. I love Justin Fields. All right, I think he's one of us.
Listen, you say that now. You already know what DJ.
Not one of us.
Listen, DJ and I had this heated discussion.
Wait. Before we get into it, I'm saying
DJ already ready.
I think he's a very talented football player and a good man. But we're gonna get more into Justin when I'm done crediting Devin Hester. I also wanted to say about Devin, it's just like that excitement, and the only thing that I could really compare it to in sports is the feeling that I would get when like a Sammy Sosa would come to bat, and you just know like he's always bound to hit a home run, and like the
more
same
like Paul Konerko or Magnio Ordonez.
Oh, Paul Konerko,
but that's just
more like small Schmanerko, man. But no, I was more of a Derek Lee guy myself. But yeah, no, it's like that feeling of any second he could go yard. Any second he could bring it to the house. And just how teams would be afraid to pitch to Sammy Sosa, or of course, Barry Bonds is the more practical, like we're gonna walk, we're gonna walk Barry Bonds and we're gonna kick it out of bounds. Like I remember signs saying things like, pitch to Barry, you wimps. And then I remember playing the Niners, and I wanted to bring a sign that said, we pitched to Barry, now you kick to Devin, or something like that. Just like this whole idea of...
I'm going to tell you something real funny about the Super Bowl in 2006 when Hester returned that kick. So I had like maybe $300-$400 bet. I can't even remember exactly what it was. But when Hester returned the only kick, the first kickoff in a Super Bowl, still to this day, I was almost certain we were going to win that fucking game. Just off that alone.
Yeah,
we lost that damn game because Rex Grossman, bomb ass, was out there shaving points. Let me tell it. And I didn't answer my damn phone for 3 months. I didn't. I was definitely, there was an APB out for me. I know it was, because I was not going to answer my phone to anyone asking me any questions about that. I was so heartbroken. I'm to this day, I'm still hurt. I ain't got my damn ring to talk shit about right now. But that's going to change sooner than later. It better.
Yeah, damn well better. There's a lot the Bears need to change for sure. I remember that play, of course. I was screaming. I was going crazy with all my friends who were all supporting the Bears. It was a great, honestly.
I almost had a brain aneurysm. Hell, screaming as much as I was screaming at the screen when he did that shit. I lost my voice. And my head was just hurt. I had to just slow down and just pace myself.
Chris Harris picks off Peyton Manning the very next drive, and it's like, oh man, we're looking good. But then, then Rex Grossman happened, and it all went to shit.
I'm gonna be honest with you though, and that, you make a valid. When I just thought about this, it's a valid point. I think if he does not score that kickoff return, I don't think we're having this conversation right now.
You don't think he's in the Hall of Fame without that
Hall of Fame?
I think he would get in eventually, but I think that's one of the things. Like, so if I'm somebody voting on it, and it's like, well, the moment, like that moment being in the Super Bowl, kickoff scoring, I think that puts you over the top when I'm arguing with it about something. You know what I mean? About something else. It makes
because he did something no one else has done.
That's his Heisman moment, so to speak. Like that's the moment that really. That really separates him from the rest. Although I do want to show one Devin Hester play. It's a 28-second clip that I just snagged. And this is, apart from the Super Bowl play, which is bittersweet, this is probably my favorite Devin Hester highlight. And I know Noah, as an Eagles fan, you'll enjoy it too. This is from his rookie season.
If he misses it, the Bears will get the ball at their own 42. Eagles to put it down. Feely's kick. Pressure kick. Not even close. And now Hester, after hesitating, he's going to run it out. And Hester is going to run it out past the 40 into Giants territory. He is going to go all the way. Touchdown, Chicago. And no flag.
That was a cool one. And I love the hesitation.
110-yard return.
It was 100. I think it was 108. I think 109 maybe.
It was 109. Yeah.
It was so cool. I love the hesitation at the beginning, bringing everyone in and then just going for it. Also, Charles Tillman pancaking an offensive lineman is, credit to him.
When you watch it though, you gotta. Now this is why you have good special team coaches. Like everything is set up. The hesitation, they got a wall. He almost failed, not because he was gonna get tackled, because it was so many blockers. He had to move a couple of them out of the way.
Well, no, we knew.
He almost overexerted himself with trying to run and try to keep himself.
Well, remember, it was 1 year before, almost to the day, Nathan Vasher did the same thing against the 49ers.
That was 110 yards.
That was 100. It was also 108. But point being, by the way, 108, very magic number in Chicago sports. The yards for the field goals, the years between Cubs World Series. It matters. 108 is a cool number for us.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, just mentioning that. But also, that one play, Nathan Vasher, yes, like the same thing as DJ saying, the blocks were absolutely set up perfectly on that. Like Urlacher's running with him the whole way, Tillman, Briggs, everyone. And I think that is, I think that's definitely worth mentioning is that, like that's special teams in action, like just being, special teams reigning supreme. Oh, and hey, we got Crooked Commish. Welcome to the show. Yo, what's good? Rexy out drinking the night before. Yeah, he played that game very hungover. Never should have played Grossman in the bowl. Yeah, probably should have gone with.
They should have played him in the damn bowl.
I would have gone. I still say we should have gone with Brian Greasy that game.
He owed me, man. Listen, Rex and Cutler owe me money to this damn day. I want my damn money.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Owe me money for that damn NFC title game.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Man. He owes me money for my therapy. That's really why he owes me money. But no,
he owes me money for having to listen to Elijah for that the entire time.
And now he had the damn nerve to be up here having a podcast. He talking like he was just so magnificent. Now you get to talk all this shit. No,
like
you cost us a lot of damn games to all them goddamn picks. I want my
look. Remember, you've had it pretty good. From a fan perspective. You've had it pretty good from a fan perspective. I won't talk about that.
Particularly at the quarterback position, I've had it pretty decent.
Specifically a quarterback, but hey, we had linebackers, baby. Let's go. But yeah, speaking of the quarterback position, what do you think the Bears should do, guys? What do you think we should do? I'm gonna start. I know how Noah feels. I know how DJ feels. I don't quite know how Mr. Chicago feels, so I want to hear your take, Mr. Chicago, and then we'll kind of bounce around a bit. So, Mr. C, you have the floor.
Well, man, I said this before, and I stand by this very statement. So I'm not pro or anti Justin or pro or anti drafting a new quarterback, but I am pro Poles better get this shit right. I don't care what decision he makes. Whatever decision he makes, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm rolling with that. You better fucking be right about this. No matter what it is. If you stick with Justin, okay, you better be right about this shit. Because there's more scenarios that can end terribly for him that will result in him losing his job than there are scenarios of him keeping his job. And
yes.
that goes for flukes too. So with that being said, if you trade Justin and Justin plays well somewhere else, and then the quarterback that you drafted don't fucking play well, you're fired. If you keep Justin and miss the opportunity of drafting one of these damn players out of the draft and he doesn't play well or get any better, you're fired. If this new quarterback don't come in, play well, and we make the playoffs, you're fired. So it's not enough to say the quarterback position has to be solidified and it has to be some maintained success out of it, but we have to make the fucking playoffs next year. This upcoming year, this is year 3 now. Ain't more waiting. Ain't no more time to be waiting, getting shit together, trying to figure it out. It better be figured out now. You better fucking make the playoffs. Regardless of what decision you make, you better. Because what's going to happen is if you choose another quarterback and he don't play well and we don't make the playoffs, guess what? You're fired. The coach is fired. And now we putting this damn different quarterback in the same fucked up scenario that we put the last 2 quarterbacks in, where they had to be under 2 coaching staffs in 2 years, 2 regimes in 2 years. How is that going to even be any kind of success out of that for this quarterback? So whatever the decision is, much as I love Justin, I'm okay with moving on from him. I'm okay with keeping him. But what I am saying is, regardless of whatever the fuck happens, we better make the fucking playoffs next year. I'm asking for a Super Bowl ring next year. We won 7 games this year, which doubles and then some our win total from last year. So that means we better fucking win at least 10 games this upcoming year, competing for the goddamn division. Because I'm seeing the other damn division rivals in this fucking division, they're getting better.
Detroit turned it around.
Vikings,
Minnesota has a good young coach. Probably,
but even still, they still have some talent around them to kind of to build around and work with.
Well, they have infrastructure.
Those pack fucks, they had the youngest goddamn team to make the playoffs and win a playoff game. Don't give me no bullshit excuses about, we still figuring it out. I don't want to hear that shit. This fan base is not tolerating that now. This is year 3.
We shouldn't
have this shit figured out. So, Paul,
we shouldn't.
If you sticking with Justin, you better fucking be right about this.
Yeah, man, I'm a boycott. I swear. If the Bears start off 0-3 next season, next season, by week 4, I might go a whole quarter without watching.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this much. My personal preference when it comes to these drafted quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels is actually better to me than Caleb Williams. I think Caleb has talent. I don't think Caleb is what we need on this fucking team. I don't think what he has is what we need. I think he'll thrive better with other coaches, other coaching staffs. He'll be pretty good.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I kind of like when
he don't have.
I kind of like quarterbacks who can sling it like 60 yards on a dime from anywhere.
Daniels is mobile. I like that motherfucker. He's accurate too. He's very athletic, and he's a bigger body of a quarterback too. Watching him at LSU, he had two receivers coming out of this goddamn draft is going to be top tier receivers that we can be potentially looking at. So from that standpoint, we better not get any Poles better not get nothing wrong. He better be right about this goddamn offensive coordinator. He better be right about the defensive coordinator. That he have assistant flukes in the efforts of calling plays and running the defense. He better be right about this quarterback position. He better not get nothing fucking wrong. Nothing.
Crooked
he can't afford nothing wrong.
Crooked always coming in with the logic, by the way. I always appreciate that, Crooked. And yeah, Mr. Sheet, look, I'm with you on some things. I don't know if I'm ready to say Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. I know he won the Heisman this year, but like,
I think for me, it was.
I don't know. DJ, you have any thoughts? Did you watch any Caleb by chance this year, DJ, or you had a chance?
A little bit, but I don't, because coming to the NFL is just such a crapshoot.
Yes.
Is it Brock Purdy or is it this person? But if it's me, I'm doing the old Redskins Commanders thing. Get RG3 and then get Kirk Cousins. Draft 2 of them fairly high, and then if one doesn't pan out, even if I get fired, you're still set up to have success in the long run, because it has to be something.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, so
I really do.
It's a bold idea, actually.
How are you drafting 2 top-tier quarterbacks in the same draft? I don't think I've ever seen that.
No. Just think about it. I'm just saying, the 49ers are in the Super Bowl because they did it, right? Kirk Cousins is a name, and the Commanders was okay, and then Minnesota was good because they did it. So again,
Jalen Hurts before Carson was there.
Same thing. This quarterback goes. In Seattle, they had signed a backup from
Matt Flynn,
Green Bay, and then they drafted
Flynn,
quarterback. So again, you give yourself up. It's the most important position.
Jimmy G, Aiden O'Connell.
Okay, so you're saying acquire a veteran quarterback while drafting a quarterback.
You can go either way. You can draft it, or you can draft. I don't want a veteran quarterback because we already know that you bad on other teams, and you probably bad on this one. So we go 2 young ones. They compete.
Bringing 2
one
arms.
doesn't pan out. It seems to work. One doesn't, one good and one bad, because
we're not talking about like a second round quarterback. We're talking like round 4, 5, 6. Like a day 2, day 3 pick for a quarterback.
Like a third. You go first. You can get somebody in the third or fourth. Just get 2 of them.
Right.
I would think every year you probably draft a quarterback. You're trying to figure somebody, because once you find them, then you're like Kansas City, because the Kansas City you wanted to play Kansas City. And then now you cannot win the Super Bowl without playing Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it is. And I
don't hate that logic. I definitely can see the benefits of drafting, or at the very least drafting a quarterback and picking one up in free agency, right? Or even drafting 2, because we do have 2 third rounds, I think 2 fourth round picks this year too. So
yeah,
I mean, obviously we have leverage when it comes to draft capital in that regard. But again, I don't necessarily.
We get Caleb Williams with pick 1. We get Bo Nix with pick 9. Let's go, just sling it, make him battle it out.
Bo Nix will already be picked up by then.
No, and also like
I just wouldn't pick
so much wrong.
I just wouldn't.
Listen, Bo Nix is my age. I don't think I want to have him on the
first round pick.
Right now.
You don't think he's going to be picking the first round?
Nope. Played horribly at the Senior Bowl. Enters the league as a 6th-year senior. I don't see any.
But he was really good throughout the year, though.
I know. I'm saying he had so both he and Penix had horrendous Senior Bowls, both the weeks and the games themselves. I personally don't put a ton of stock in Senior Bowls for quarterback because you don't have the timing with the receiver. There's a lot of stuff that goes in. It is easier for like a defensive lineman to have a great Senior Bowl week than a quarterback. My understanding, people in the league really, really care about Senior Bowl stuff. I think he and Penix are both going to plummet. I think they're going to have like a Malik Willis level slide.
Really?
There was talk Malik Willis could be like a back end of the first round guy coming out of Liberty.
Yeah,
I think Washington
coming into the draft, there was talk Malik Willis could be an end of the first round guy. But
I think Seattle's going to get Penix.
Here's the one thing I want to say. It's twofold actually, and I've spoken about Elijah. There are 2 points that Bears fans as a whole, and specifically people on this network, are getting unequivocally wrong. Just straight wrong. There are 2 sentiments being thrown out there.
The first one, we all need to hear it.
The first sentiment being thrown out that is unequivocally and factually inaccurate is Well, you're telling me Caleb is the guy. You said that about Justin. False. First of all, it's a false statement. Justin Fields, there was a reason he fell in the first round to 9. You guys had to go and trade him up to. He was not talked about as a top quarterback prospect of the century, top 3 quarterback prospect of the century. They just aren't in the same conversation. No, Caleb and Justin coming out of college, nowhere near each other as far as nowhere near each other.
Justin Fields at Ohio State was pretty goddamn good.
But it is asinine and factually inaccurate to say they were mildly comparable as prospects. They were not mildly comparable.
No, we're not saying Justin was bad. Like, we're saying Justin was a good prospect.
You can go back and Google. You will not find a single
Justin was a good prospect. He wasn't.
You will not find a single Kuiper, McShay, no one saying, "Oh, he was a number 1 prospect." No one said that.
Kuiper, McShay get paid to be wrong.
The second thing
I don't even fucking listen to them because they don't know a goddamn thing about college football and how
the point that you told us he was going to be good and something. First of all, no. Second point they're getting wrong. Well, if we give Justin 1 more year and he ends up being bad like he has been for 3 years, we can get a quarterback next year. Also categorically false. There are not quarterbacks to Caleb's level in next year's draft. You know how we know that? Because we would have heard of him by now. You might get a 1-year wonder like a Jaden Daniels, for sure. A guy could come out of nowhere, play incredible football, and be a 1-year wonder. You will not get someone coming out next year with 3 years of college football pedigree, playing under Lincoln Riley, the greatest quarterback coach in college football of the century. You're not going to do it. And to the point about Jaden Daniels, I agree with you. Jaden Daniels was throwing to a top 10 receiver in Malik Neighbors and another top first-round pick in Brian Johnson. In his 3 years at USC, I can name you every single first-round prospect that Caleb played with. Jordan Addison, yeah. That's it.
Elijah Vera Tucker.
Listen, Jerry Rice's son is pretty good.
My apology.
Jerry Rice's son is pretty damn good.
My point being, he has been an elite quarterback for 3 years, showing you quite literally every single thing you look to see in a college quarterback. And Bears fans will look me dead in the eye and go, but Justin can run fast. Like that's genuinely what it comes down to.
I'm gonna push back on that, Noah, because I'm gonna tell you this much. I've been on record saying that.
That's my friend Lorenzo. Back off.
I do think he's very talented. Do I think he's the greatest prospect I've seen in 20 years? Fuck no, because Joe Burrow was better, Trevor Lawrence was better, Deshaun Watson was better. Justin Fields, to me, was better in college than Caleb Williams was. At Ohio State running that goddamn pro offense that he was running, that spread offense with goddamn 3 to 5 goddamn receivers out there running routes and getting wide the fuck open where he was throwing it to. Justin Fields had an incredible goddamn season at Ohio State, especially his last year there. Trevor Lawrence was pretty goddamn great at Clemson.
Everything we said about Justin was true.
Burrow not only won the national title,
NFL receivers.
He has the record for the most yards thrown in the season.
He doesn't have to make any reads. He doesn't have to play within an offense, and that was true. He has not in 3 years learned to read NFL defenses. He just hasn't. And you can see that through eye test. You can see that through statistics. You can see it through advanced metrics. Like, I'm sorry. I simply won't. Like, there simply is isolated logic. When you look at all of the reasons to draft Caleb versus the reasons to keep Justin, I think the scales are like 80-20 Caleb, and that's conservative in my opinion. I think
right, and also I want to say just
I wouldn't say it's that large of a gap because I look at some of the indecisiveness that I did see from Caleb. Mind you, and I'm always giving Pac-12 conference shit because that's the most over fucking rated goddamn conference in college football. 100%. Pac-12 ain't playing nobody outside the Pac-12. They can't play nobody in the Big Ten. They can't play nobody in the SEC. Hell, they can't play nobody in the Big 12 for that matter, or the ACC.
No, right. 100% agree.
So you're only as good as your competition in college to a certain degree. And you couldn't be overrated as Notre Dame.
Oregon was still playing.
Yeah, like it's still
Utah.
Teams.
Okay, but I want to talk. Like, I'm glad you said Notre Dame real quick because Lorenzo's talking about how he cried during the game and he cried after the game to his mom, whatever. Right, the Notre Dame game, right? But here's the thing about Chicago fans is Chicago fans don't watch the Pac. Chicago fans don't watch the Pac-12. Their favorite team, the closest team to Chicago in general, and I'm not talking about you, obviously, Mr. Chicago, is Notre Dame. Yeah. Right, like they are Notre Dame fans. So what is the one Caleb Williams games? The one Caleb Williams game that they watched was the Notre Dame game, and that was the only game in his entire college football career where he played poorly.
Actually, no.
So they're judging their entire opinion on Caleb Williams on the one game.
Logic, Caleb, if you look at the statistics against like tougher and stiffer competition, he didn't look good at all against any of those.
The numbers dropped.
That's considered to be stiffer
which
competition.
is to be expected from a guy when he doesn't have a lot of stuff around him. The point being, again, but it all comes, and it's not even so much about. I will be honest. Yes, I think Caleb truly is this level of prospect. I also don't point this out there. It's one of those things where I go, even if I didn't, I don't egotistically think I'm so much smarter than all of these guys that get paid for a living to make these decisions. I don't think that. So if I'm here, if everything I read from scouts, from executives, from this guy, from that, if everyone is telling me,
it is some hyperbole there too, though, Noah.
They probably know
there is some hyperbolic bullshit that's ingrained and stitched in that very thing that you're talking about with these college gurus or these college analysts and these mock draft analysts like the Mel Kipers and Todd McShay's. I never listen to them because the shit they say is utterly ridiculous compared to what I watch college football every fucking year. I know what I see. I told people last year that C.J. Stroud was going to be the best goddamn quarterback coming out that draft class. And was I wrong? Nowhere near close to being wrong.
But then when they have 32 first-round pick projections and 25 of them are correct, you go, they got lucky. What do they know?
But they never correct themselves. They never go back and say, I was wrong about him.
They do it
every year. I want to hear what DJ has to say. Guys, no. Hang on. Look, I love this discourse. But my point is, if I can just summarize the two things I want Bears fans to keep in mind. No, you will not get someone of a Caleb hype next year. Yes, there might be someone there. He will not be Caleb hype. And no, you do not know. There was not the hype for Justin there was for Caleb. I need people to understand both those points. That's my
question for you, DJ. DJ, I have a question.
I want to hear. Let DJ talk. Let's let DJ talk.
Yeah, I had a question for DJ.
What we all got to understand is that it's luck. Caleb Williams may come in and be awesome, and then he may come in and be a piece of shit.
Right.
Like you gotta.
Yeah.
Because when I say, this guy's going to go in the first round, he may go in the first round, and for whatever reason, he get to camp, and then it's like, I think it was Jamar Chase. The whole preseason, he couldn't even catch the ball. Whatever reason,
talking about the balls had different colors on them.
You couldn't figure it out, and then all of a sudden, he takes off. So that's my point in you drafting two quarterbacks. Get a Caleb Williams.
I get that.
I like Spencer Rattler. At like late in the rounds, was a top prospect coming to high school, struggling at Oklahoma, went somewhere else and strive. But again, just even the odds are, if I'm gonna get a lottery ticket, if I'm gonna win, I'm gonna have to get more than one ticket. It's just
right,
especially for the Bears.
Think about this though. So I actually was listening to the 670 show after Chicago that they're actually talking about this, and they brought this up. And I thought it was very interesting to even bring this point up about let's just say the last 20 years, how many quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round actually have been great? I think it was maybe 2 or 3 in the last 20 years.
But most quarterbacks in general don't end up being great. Like, so that's
I'm
specifically talking about the first round.
5 quarterbacks from one first round that are already great. What are we talking about? There's only been 2 or 3 great quarterbacks.
Wait, which one? Which one, Noah?
Lamar, Burrow, same year, yes.
No. You're thinking that's Lamar, Josh Allen,
Baker
Mayfield, Josh
Allen. Lamar went in the class with Josh Allen.
Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold did not work out.
Baker Mayfield is not. Baker Mayfield had a better season. He's not great though. He's not great.
Yeah, but first of all, Baker's good. He's a good quarterback.
I'm sorry, there's only been 2 or 3 first round quarterbacks. No, not.
He was good this year. He's not that great.
I'm saying there's already you can get someone in the 4th round. You have a way better chance of getting your guy in the first round or the top 10. But
to your point, though,
I
think more first round bust than they are anything else.
But you're more likely than getting one in the 4th. This is why I like DJ's idea of get your hot guy in the 1, then in the 4, best of both worlds. One of them's gonna have to one of them will have to your logic goes and your odds go way up there. Particularly in a year like this where you've got some really, really nice quarterbacks like Penix and Nix that could be there in round 2s and 3s, which push guys down further down the board. Like Sam Hartman out of Notre Dame, people like a lot. The Tulane guy, people are a big fan of.
You know, and kind of to what DJ was saying is, yes, it is a lot. Like there is a lot of luck involved, absolutely. And you know, it's a little bit of a crapshoot sometimes when these guys get to the NFL. And in addition to that, like, yeah, obviously there have been a lot of guys, like some undrafted guys, and also just guys who were, you know, just not like the most hyped up prospects who ended up having good careers. I mean, like I did write a list at one point. Like I know. Like going way back to Johnny Unitas, he wasn't an early pick. I think he was like drafted in like the 12th round or something. Obviously, Kurt Warner, and then you know Brady is the ultimate anomaly.
So can I
right?
throw this out there?
However,
sure.
Let me continue.
Sure.
Like when you have a guy, like you still have the best chance of getting the most success out of a guy with unbelievable talent. And so why not take a chance on a guy who's got as much talent as Caleb does?
Well, the thing about that is that we're negating the reality that coaching staff and the offensive coordinator matters in those regards. Because if you look at those quarterbacks who were drafted in later rounds, that had the right coaching staff around them and got the most out of their talents and intangibles, that shit matters. And the fact that we're dismissing that or not even bringing it to the forefront, it's kind of it's doing a disservice to that quarterback who actually had some success with those offensive coordinators with that.
It does matter, but I don't like, and that's kind of the ultimate question though. Like, is how much does it matter? And DJ, you played in the league, obviously. Like, can you speak to that a little bit? Like, to you know, how much...
because the last time we was on a call about this, DJ was refuting with me about how no matter who the coach is, you're just supposed to go out there and play and be great no matter what, and that don't work for everybody. So I want to know if he's standing on that, or if he can expound on it a little bit more.
When you said it doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't. It only works for the good ones. So if I call a play, right, I'm the coach. I call a play. The play comes in. I got to make it happen. I got to read it. I got to make something happen out of the play. Fields has been proven to get us 6 wins at the most. So my point is, even if you like him, we already know next year how many games are we going to win? Probably 6 or 7. So why not take the chance on somebody that you're saying that, hey, I think this guy can change the game. Bill Belichick doesn't have a job, not because he's not a great coach. It's because
he's stuck in his ways.
He's not his quarterback.
And he's good is the enemy of great.
And he's stuck in his ways. He don't want to change to the time. He don't want to adapt to
also, it's just old.
You know why you have to change? Because you don't have this guy quarterback. You had the same coaches. The coaches came back. It just doesn't work. So at the end of the season, when you have the same team and you put the backup quarterback in, what happens? You only can score 10 points. It just is. It is what it is. Your quarterback position is very important. So Brock Purdy, I don't care if you call him a game manager, a game this, when he's in a game, their level of play is here. When somebody else goes in a game, the level of play goes down. I'm a defensive player. When there's a rookie quarterback or somebody get down and go hurt, you like, man, this is simple. This is going to be easy. It just makes a difference. So when you get out there and you call the play for Lamar Jackson, I don't know what he's going to do. He can run here and do this and do that. It's the same plays. You can only run backwards and forwards on the field. Everybody's calling the same plays. Different people make different things happen. And for Fields, he runs around and it look cool sometimes. You know, he ran in the water.
And it works sometimes.
DJ, hold on. Don't minimize that. So you got to give him his just due in certain instances where he's getting out of all kind of damn commotion that's coming at him, and he's making a damn play out of no play a lot of times. It's like,
but how often is that? Because
there's no way he's supposed to get out of these goddamn sacks coming at him.
Well,
how often is it?
Even in college,
that's the part no one wants to talk about.
But even with Fields in college, he struggled with holding on to the ball too long because he didn't run it.
Caleb
didn't run a lot in college.
Caleb holds the ball longer than Justin does.
But he
actually makes the throws afterwards.
Yes, but no, the difference is, and this is not a knock on Justin, but Caleb, from what I've seen, again, pure eye test conversation, is he gets it out like in a second. Like when he decides to throw, he's just like, boom, like it's just gone. It's out of his hands, 70 yards downfield. It doesn't matter what his arm slot is. He just like gets it out. Like it's kind of remarkable. It's like
my thing is, it's not even about Caleb Williams. It's about Fields. He's not winning. he doesn't read the defense fast enough. When he does read it fast enough, he's running and taking off. When he takes off, I'm fine with it. When he gets hit, he's out for 3 weeks. This is every single year.
Well, DJ, when you say he's not winning, are you predicating? Are you basically basing the win-loss column solely on him, or are you not giving blame to those around him for not basically being put in positions to actually win those games?
Hold on, okay. Just hear me out though. Hear me out on this one. All right, we're gonna go Green Bay on this one, right?
All right.
Aaron Rodgers is left,
buckle in.
right? They won a playoff game, and honestly outplayed the 49ers, who we think are the Avengers. Mm-hmm. And they should have won that playoff game, right? With the same team that Aaron Rodgers was like, I don't have this and I don't have that.
That's the system. That was the system.
No. You gotta get a quarterback credit because when you call the play, he's making it happen. And
no. I'm giving him that, but he's doing what LaFleur puts him in position to do. They're not asking him to do no more, no less. They say,
but he was asking Aaron to do the same thing last year, and he couldn't do it.
I know, but did you in the playoffs though? He stepped up so much that next year you have to say that Green Bay is the top team to win the division. Like you have
to be a favorite.
I still think I wouldn't count out Detroit. I think Detroit's
no. Listen, did you see him take a step though?
Yes.
He didn't see Fields take that step, and that's the issue. I just try somebody else. You have to try it.
And even when he has taken that step, he's starting from like so much further back than a lot of other guys that when he takes that step, it's kind of like that line from Moneyball where it's like, 50 feet of crap and then there's us. Like, even if he makes a 30-foot progression, he's still under 20 feet of crap. He's still got to get through that. And like, that's my thing that I try to compare. I'm like,
because the Bears holistically, Noah, is in crap. We're in the shit here.
Right, no, I understand.
So we have a lot of shit to get out of.
I'm like, yo, pull yourselves out of the crap. This new guy might have a pole that's long enough to reach down and you can grab onto it and he'll yank you up out of it.
That's the thing.
Justin's pole ain't long enough. Pause. But the point being,
that's one way of putting it, Noah. That's for sure.
I was trying to get a visual way.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And
absolutely. And I agree with that statement. But I think with Caleb Williams, I do feel like this is going to be a situation where he's going to eventually bite off more than he can fucking chew here, because we're not the franchise that he can propel to the next level. He's just not that person to do that. And I do think he's talented, though. I do think he will work out in certain respects. But I'm just like, with what we're needing, because this goddamn organization has done a disservice to the fucking fan base for 100 years with never getting this position right. Not one fucking time. We haven't gotten it right at all. You want to sit up and bring Sid Luckman in the goddamn fold? Okay, he was playing against people who got off work at fucking 5 o'clock. So they had Docker pants on and polo shorts. Like, come on, man. They weren't playing no damn body back then. There was no competition.
But this is why you got to keep trying. Good is the enemy of great. If Justin is good, that's fine. But like, that's what he's gonna be. I don't see greatness in Justin. I see a guy.
So the argument.
I think at his best, he is a.
I want to know from everybody, how much does coaching matter?
Massively, absolutely. But so Caleb is more in football than it does in basketball. Coaching, right?
So the argument against that, Noah, the argument against good being the
got to the point that Justin cannot overcome his coaching. That's the point we all agreed to.
But what I want
we don't know if Caleb good. Wait, you don't know that. You don't know.
No. I want to ask this.
Justin cannot.
I need to appeal the other side. I need to ask the question. Like, I need to make the argument that the pro Justin crowd is making, which is, trade back from number one, get a haul, draft Marvin Harrison Jr., get a bunch of really talented players, and then even if Justin doesn't work out, then you could replace the quarterback, not necessarily in the draft, but you could get a free agent. You get someone who's good, not great.
100 years, right? Because that's worked so well for you guys for 100 years, right?
Yeah.
Well, no.
You're trying to give us the pros and sides of it.
I'm the devil's advocate.
Outside observer, how illogical and irrational it is.
No. Let me ask you this question. I want to ask DJ this as well. Is it fair to say that we haven't done the best job with putting Justin Fields in the best positions to be successful when it comes to coaching, when it comes to continuity, when it comes to consistency.
If I'm giving him
in
a
the play
grade,
calling,
like C+,
is it fair to say? Listen, Luke, if you want me to be real fucking frank about this, Luke Getsy was a white privileged hire who should never fucking have a damn job to fucking begin with. He ain't do a goddamn thing in Green Bay except but laugh at them corny ass jokes Aaron Rodgers ass say on the goddamn sideline and got him his goddamn Gatorade bottle.
Isn't he with the Jets
Aaron
now
Rodgers
too?
do anything.
No, he's with the Raiders. He's with Devontae.
Okay, yeah.
Him and Nathaniel Hackett absolutely did nothing for Aaron Rodgers. They just rolled they was basically riding his goddamn coattail the entire time. They didn't help him with his footwork. They helped him with his intangibles. They helped him with his goddamn awareness on the field. None of that shit. They was basically reaping the goddamn benefits of who the fuck Aaron Rodgers punk ass was to begin with. They did nothing to help that man get better, worse, indifferent, whatever. They were just basically reaping the benefits of him, which is why they got the goddamn positions they in the first place. Because they should have never, Nathaniel Hackett should never been the goddamn head coach of any team because he did nothing to even warrant that damn job. Luke Getsy did nothing to be the damn offense coordinator of this fucking team. And let me make sure I make this public service announcement to this goddamn organization. DJ, you will contest to this. I've been never fucking seen another goddamn Green Bay Packer staff member, player, HR personnel, security guard, concession stand worker. I don't give a damn.
Dog man, nothing.
I bet not see nobody else from the state of fucking Wisconsin on this fucking team again.
Unless it's Andy Reid. He's the one exception.
I bet not ever see anybody coming from a shitty ass city playing or working for our organization.
Yes, DJ, yes.
The issue is you give the player credit when they do good, and then you give the coach blame when they do bad.
Something has to be Justin's fault at some point.
I'm giving Justin blame for some of the shit he's done.
So that's my point. I put you on the field. CJ Stroud is playing for a team that technically Lovie Smith said, hey, listen, we're going to go for 2 because technically we would have had the first pick. He took that team with no talent, no receivers, no defense, no this, rookie head coach, and they went to the playoffs and won a playoff.
They have
you
talent.
Gotta help me out on this.
They have talent, DJ. They got talent over there.
As the Bears, wait a minute now.
They have talent over there, DJ. And they have a damn good coaching staff, DJ, over there.
That's what they have. You guys don't. I'll give you that one.
Yes, they do.
You know what they have.
Wait, but you know what the Bears do have? Hang on a second. They do have DJ Moore, an elite wide receiver. They do have Cole Kmet, arguably a top 10 tight end. They do have, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe 4 offensive linemen that are first or second round picks. Correct?
Jenkins second. I don't know about Nate Davis.
Right tackle, the left tackle is not. Nate Davis is an expensive free agent, and then Cody Whitehair, right? Who is like a prominent.
Cody Whitehair is washed.
Yeah. But like they have invested up front. They invested with DJ Moore. They invested with.
They haven't fully invested into the offensive line, Noah. No, they haven't.
No, they haven't. But they've done stuff. Whereas Houston, they're like
DJ. I want to hear your point.
Guys, it's Nico Collins and guys. I mean, Damian completely fell off the face of the earth this year after being 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie, and CJ went, don't worry about it. I got it. Like, because Collins is made now because CJ Stroud is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. He's more talented than Justin Fields.
He's better than most of the league at this point. But this is the
thing, and so like.
No, but wait, no. I hear your point. I really want to hear what DJ has to say.
All right.
No. This is the thing, right? Even if you like Fields, right? Like, just think about it from a lottery ticket standpoint. Like, normally, if you go to the store and get a lottery ticket, you like one out of billions.
Like 230,000 people. I played.
No.
I saw the Powerball.
It's millions and millions of people, right?
And I played too tonight.
If right? So I'm assuming you haven't won.
I won a couple of dollars here and there.
A couple of dollars. Now, tell me if I go to the store, right? I'm gonna give you a not a 0.8% chance, 0.08%. I'm gonna give you a 50% chance, right, to win.
All right.
To win the lottery. Are you gonna want that? Are you gonna want them odds though?
I can do something with those odds. I can do something with those odds.
So the Texans did what? Right? They drafted the young quarterback. They won the lottery. The Bengals, they got the quarterback. They won the lottery. They didn't say, I'm going to get a veteran guy. I'm going to keep this other guy or whatever the case. The other person is not working.
But DJ, you're automatically assuming by default.
And I have a good chance to win it.
Yeah, you're automatically assuming by default that whoever we go with draft-wise, that they're just going to work out. What the fuck happens if they don't?
I said it's a lot. It's a 50-50 chance.
It's a 50-50 chance.
If I have a chance to win the lottery, though,
can I have this one out there, DJ?
A really good chance. You have to take it.
DJ, can I have this one out you, DJ? I think a comparison I like, a little bit less like the lottery and a little bit more like gambling. There's some gambling that's straight luck. You pull the lever on the thing, maybe you get $10, right? Blackjack, there's a little bit more logic of like, am I at 16? Do I want to hit? But you have better odds of someone turning out who is a number one pick than someone who is not. That's just like how it works. That should make sense in all of our heads.
Yeah, like if you have 18 in blackjack, you have a better chance of winning than if you have 14.
And there's a chance the dealer's still busting whatever, but you have a better chance if you have the higher number. You know what I mean?
This is my point about the lottery, though, because he is supposed to be the greatest in the last 20 years. He's the LeBron. He's the Andrew Luck, where it's like, this is a can't miss person. I'm not talking about blackjack. I win, I play another hand. I'm saying once I win this hand,
you can cash out
everything.
I'm telling you, I don't see this generational talent in Caleb Williams that some of you all are saying. I do think he's talented, but he's nowhere near the best goddamn college quarterback that I've ever seen in the last 20 years.
That is fine, though. That's understandable. But if he is, we have a different conversation on this thing.
And I think the odds of
and even to that point, I want to say this about polls
are way higher. Like just based on just a couple of different factors, based on age, based on just multiple facts coming in. Also, if you do bring in someone else like that, the money is a factor as well. If you could start fresh with Caleb and he's like not even necessarily like elite all world, come in as a rookie and throw 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns, but if he can come in and just be like a little bit better than Justin, and then they can spend money on something like a premier running back or improving a WR2 or whatever it may be, that gives the Bears a better team success chance as well. It's about individual and team in that case.
And there is money for Mike Evans and Saquon Barkley. I'm just saying.
You and I were talking about it. I
want people to not get their hopes up too goddamn high, because I've realized this over the years that players that I actually like to watch who are not on my team, they have to want to fucking come.
Such a relatable sentiment. It's so true.
It's a two-way street. Just because we want them don't mean they want to come to Chicago. Right?
Chicago also is not historically a free agent destination.
They're on our wish list, but we want to. I don't want people to get their hopes up so goddamn high that they think they're so disappointed we don't get
No, I'm saying, right. That's what I'm saying. Someone like Saquon, if I'm someone like Saquon, I can go to Chicago. I'm going to get the ball a lot, play behind a pretty decent offensive line. Yeah, sounds good to me. Versus if I'm like Mike Evans, and I would be like, I gotta go play in the Windy City.
He's not paying. Mike Evans not paying.
He's leaving the goddamn Heat to come play in negative 52. Okay.
Once you go play in Tampa, you're not coming back.
Well,
oh, Noah, you're gonna love this comment. Noah, oh man, this is a can of worms comment. This is a can of worms comment. Y'all better prepare yourselves.
LeBron, Michael Jordan, close generation. So there's so much wrongness in this statement.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't want
to. You know what? Michael Jordan is already a generational talent coming into the damn league. Like, what is he talking about? Close to?
Are we just forgetting about all the times he kicked our sorry asses in the playoffs?
You guys remember when he dragged Zildris Ilgauskas and Mo Williams to Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
Listen, let's not act like Jordan. I mean, again. We can have
I should expect nothing less from a Chicago-based podcast in NBA. Yes,
we should.
You goddamn right, and that's the dream team jersey right there. So don't get this shit twisted and confused. Now, ain't no other GOAT than the motherfucker who wore that jersey.
Right,
let's be real about that. I can make that argument. I know more about Jordan than Jordan knows about Jordan.
I got no argument with you.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, we talked about it. Like, Noah and I talked about it yesterday.
If you say Michael, I agree with you. If you say LeBron, there's enough.
Listen, my arguments ain't even based on the rings. I have way more arguments that really compel my
regardless. Yes, Elijah.
That will be a show that Like that's another show for another time. And I wasn't. Noah and I were talking about it yesterday. Like, really, if your answer for GOAT isn't LeBron or Jordan, then you're incorrect. You're incorrect.
Then you're wrong.
And I think that's fair to say.
One of those two. Can't say Kobe.
If you say Kareem, I mean, people
if you say
argue,
Bill Russell,
people argue Kareem.
What about?
I can't refute that. But
Brian Scalabrine,
like sort of, kind of give you, and Wilt, all kind of, sort of give you, kind of ish. Yep. But for me, both of them were like a little bit. Both of them were a little bit too. Particularly Wilt playing against lawyers and milkmen. What about a little bit of that going?
What about Brian Scalabrine?
That's a real GOAT right there.
That's a real argument. Okay, but anyway, I want to get back to football real quick. So yeah, I guess look, I'm leaning towards the Caleb hype train. I also I do kind of adopt DJ's philosophy of coaching matters, but like the players have to find a way in the end. And like kind of the reason why I say that is, and this is something I talked to JB a little bit about off the air. When a quarterback wants to change a play at the line or something, or like the great ones are able to see what the defense is doing and make that subtle adjustment and, kind of change a call and, like just like do like these little tiny things that really kind of sets them over the edge. And that's kind of why I'm like, look, I think Caleb is definitely more likely to have that level of moxie than Justin has shown. I haven't seen Justin. Yeah, Getsy calls a lot of fucking screen passes, but I'd like to see Justin change those screen passes. I'd like to see him be like, no, we're not doing that. DJ's down there somewhere. Yeet, whatever. Anyway.
So I want to ask you a question about coaching to DJ specifically. So, DJ, let me ask you this question, because obviously you know the difference between a good coach and a bad one. So with that in mind, what's the difference when it comes to the plays being called on the field? When you can look at a coach and say, oh, that's a shitty call. Why would you even call that play? Versus, oh, we know this coach, yeah, he's made for moments like this shit. Based on what he's calling, I know what the fuck he's doing. And there's nothing that other damn team can do to stop him and stop that team from getting whatever done they need to get done at that moment in time. So the difference between a good coach and a bad one, or even just a decent coach. You ain't got to name drop nobody, but just give me some examples of what a bad coach looks like to you.
And hey, you're welcome to name drop as much as you want, but you don't have to. Is what we're saying.
No, you don't have to.
Honestly, it's hard to say. But for me, with Lovie Smith, like on defense, we call the same play. We just call cover two. If
cover two shell
on something else, and if things were going wrong, he'll come in the locker room and say, "Hey, man, don't ask me nothing. We're gonna run cover two. You know where you need to be there." He just made it simple. So again, he expected me to be where I was supposed to be. He expected Peppers to rush the quarterback. He expect you to make the tackle, and if you didn't, then somebody else came in. I can't speak for offense because different offenses. I know when March came, most of the receivers couldn't. It was so many plays that they'd be running the wrong routes because they couldn't really remember stuff. Now I don't know if he a bad coach, they just bad at learning plays, I guess, or they doing too much. Okay. We was 8-0, Cutler looked good, and then all of a sudden he didn't look good. I don't know if it was coaching or players. It's hard to really explain it because most coaches know what they're doing. We practice stuff. Most of the time, good coaches adjust. I know we ain't talked about a Super Bowl, but like the Niners, I think they've honestly should have got beat by now, but in the second half, they adjust. They adjust. More everybody in the second half. So most good coaches, they adjust. I just went to this high school basketball game. Our girls team was up, and then all of a sudden the other team started pressing and trapping. We never adjusted to it. We up at 10 at half, and then we end up losing by 10 or 12 because after halftime, we never adjusted to the trap and all of that stuff. So normally a good coach at halftime, we adjust because at practice all week we already know what each other's doing. Now at halftime, okay, they done this and we done this. So how do we adjust to it, and how do we make that change? And most good coaches at halftime, or a good coach coming off a bye week, is like, they're gonna win. You can almost put money on it because
like Saban.
Petty, like honestly, and it start with us with Chicago is always like, what do we do wrong? What are my tendencies? When a quarterback does this, what do I do? So now because my offense is predicated on like, what does the defense do? Does this safety jump routes? There's a Asante Samuels. If you ever played again, he jump routes. He's gonna get a lot of picks.
Yep.
If you double move him, you're gonna get a touchdown. It's high risk, high reward type stuff. So you gotta, not only as a coach, but as a player, you gotta investigate people like, okay, this guy runs routes like this, or this situation he runs this. So again, it's the coaches. The coaches know they got to put you in the spot, but then the player got to actually be able to want to like execute it. You have to. The player has to execute it. Like everybody knows, it's just simple. Like run the slant, run the go, run the this, run the that. Like we know what's coming. If the player cannot execute what the coach is doing, want him to do, coach got to go. And the coaches will tell you, hey man, you about to get me fucking fired, man. What the fuck are you doing? Like, this is a meeting. This in the meeting is like that. Like, hey, what are you doing? Because if you gotta bench you.
But if those players don't buy into that system and don't buy into the way, that style of play that their coach is trying to implement, then it's not going to work, though, right? Now, have you seen situations where players are like, nah, I don't like that. That shit ain't gonna work, or they're ignoring what the coach says and going out and doing their own thing anyway. So has it ever been a situation where you saw that?
Yeah, you will have me and Lovey always have arguments about stuff. Like at the end, I'm like, oh shit, you was right about that shit. Like, oh, okay. I see where you're coming from. Now he's seeing where I was coming from. He would listen to me and be like, but I want you to do it this way, and this is why I want you to do it this way. And this is what it is. Certain coaches want you to do it this way, certain coaches want you to do it the other way. And if you, as a player, if you can't adjust to different coaches, then your ass ain't gonna be a Hall of Famer. Your ass gonna be on this team, and that's gonna be it. For me personally, I was good. I can play. I can make plays. Bad attitude. Coach say something, I want to talk shit back. Well, sit your ass at home then. You know what I mean? Like I don't grow up fast enough to understand it.
We always talk about coaching, adjusting, and adapting to players, but in some cases, it's about players adapting and adjusting to coaches.
Absolutely.
It can go both ways, but again, if I have like Fields has to, like, you got to go into the game and understand. You go to sleep thinking about the game. Before the game, you done daydream what's going to happen by the game. Like to me, I get to play. Hey man, let's make it happen. Like I see it. Okay, this is cover, whatever. I got to adjust to this. I got to adjust. You have enough talent. You can throw the ball further enough to make it happen, but it's just not happening.
But what happens when the other team?
I do. I want you to be the best of all time. I swear.
Yeah, but what happens though when that defense is basically adjusting or readjusting to your offensive scheme and game plan, and they're stopping you from executing the very game plan that you had set aside for this game?
But that's the way that it works. So if I call cover 2, right, on the left I got a cover 2 beater. On the right I may have a man beater. In this or whatever the case may be, he has to see it though. Like it's not up to the coach calls the play, so an adjustment is set in to where you have to be able to see it and read it. And if you're taking too long, then what happens? Somebody's not open. It is terribly hard to go at people in the NFL.
And then on the flip side, if you're running cover 2 or something, and 3 plays in a row, they run a slant behind the linebacker in front of the safety, and they hit that slant at 8 yards, 3 plays in a row. Love looks at you and goes, "Hey, linebacker, play further back." Like that, you adjust to the adjustment.
Here's the other question I want to ask you, especially on the defensive side of things, because I also accredit this basically on the offense too, but the defense more specifically are the rah-rah guys. They're the aggressors in that regard. So in practice, in the facilities, in the film room, how often was the coaches holding people accountable or pointing out what one individual did versus what the other individual did? Because one thing I don't see on this team, I don't see accountability. I see a lot of motherfuckers, with their heads down and like, they just sulking and they just fucking, they pity partying. Pick your fucking head up, man, and go out there and play and make a damn play. Why are you over here all cool, calm, and relaxed, and you got your head down and you over here looking all sad?
It would be nice to see the quarterback kind of take accountability and like it would not let Justin doesn't take accountability.
I don't like all that cool shit, man.
It would be nice to see the quarterback occasionally go over to these guys and hype them up. It would be nice to see the quarterback, like kind of.
Well, who was that guy, DJ, on the defensive side that was getting everybody amped up? Who was that guy?
For us, it was everybody, because Lovey would always say the defense. The star of the defense is the defense. So I may have 13 tackles one game.
It's a great line. Wow.
And then this other place that may shine, because with cover 2, we all had to work together. I remember one time we was in Green Bay and Urlacher fucked up.
Oh no.
He looked at me and he started smiling because I told him, I said, don't fucking look at me. That's your fault. But I said on TV that right now they saying that it's my fault. Because you looking at me. He laughing and shit, running over to the sideline. Like, that ain't my fucking fault. But you gotta be, hold each other accountable. Now in the meetings, you always like coach out the film on defense anyway. Watch the film together. Like, what in the hell? I remember it was Chris Conti. We playing against Marshawn Lynch.
Wait. We have to calibrate on Chris Conti, by the way. That guy played his ass off. He just wasn't good all the time. Anyway,
I'm just saying he wasn't good at all.
So he made some great interceptions. But anyway.
Marshawn Lynch meet at the goal line.
Oh no.
Guess what he does?
No.
He moves out the way. No, so in film,
Chris Conti said, "I'm making a business decision."
He said, "Fuck you! I am not going to the hospital today."
Okay, I take back what I said about Chris Conti. I take it back.
So in film, like on film, coach turns around, he stops the film and looks at him like, "Man, what is this?" And everybody's looking at him like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta. So again. On the field, because you don't always do it on the field. Because again, when I mess up, I know I messed up. Like I'm not gonna come on to you like, "Hey man, you fucked up." Like you just can't. But in the film room, shit, people get at it because it's like, "Hey man, like what the hell is this?" Because you know, if I'm the quarterback coach and you the quarterback fucking up, like man, what the fuck are you doing? Like they hired me to make you look good, and I look shitty. Like, what are you doing?
They say go down in the DMs. They go down in the film room. That's where the real deal is.
Because you got to understand, and I didn't really understand it until like I started like when I started coaching high school a little bit. But like the pressure that the coach is under, because it's like you're coaching me and I'm not doing my job. So in the film room, in the meeting room with the coaches, they're like, "Hey, coach, can you not get the job done?" Oh shit. My bad. I talk to him. So when somebody's coming to me telling me, "Hey, you're not doing this," it's coming from the top. Hey man, you're not fucking doing your job, so you got to do it. So that's why people get traded, or you'll see your replacement come to practice while you practicing. You don't get your shit together, that guy. We about to sign him. Like that shit, it get real. And it happens every day.
I can only imagine that being like a real ego hit right there. It's like, oh shit.
I want to ask DJ. I want to ask you. First of all, just going back to that Urlacher game, that Green Bay game. Do you remember which year that was? Which Green Bay game that would have been?
Man, it had to be. I don't even know. I just remember Donald Driver was playing because he scored going up. He scored going up the hash because normally Urlacher carries 3 through the zone because he's the middle linebacker. But we would sometimes switch it. I don't know if he was older or I just was more athletic and I could run through the middle sometimes.
Right.
But in certain situations, I would run through the middle, but this one was not one of those.
Right. He's like, let me be absolutely clear.
And like,
was it at Lambeau? It might have been Brett Favre.
No, it couldn't have been Brett Favre. DJ wasn't in the league with Brett Favre.
No.
Not when Favre was with Green
Bay. Remember when we beat Green Bay on Brett Favre's day. Like he was being acknowledged and he got his damn name and stuff.
I remember that was Thanksgiving and that was the best. Like my dad and I, Dad, if you're listening, like you could attest to this. That was the best day of our lives. Like, I mean, it was awesome. But yeah, and that's very sad. I know as a Bears fan, but yes, no, it was. I don't think that would have been the game either because I don't think DJ was with us in 2015.
No, it was Aaron Rodgers. I played Aaron Rodgers. I played Brett Favre, but he was in
Vikings.
So I got a question for y'all. So all this name bringing up, and just because I was talking to Eli about this earlier, and I know I've been talking a lot tonight, so I want to throw it more out to y'all on this one. We're talking so much about what to do at 1. I feel like Bears fans are forgetting you have another pick that's very, very prominent. Do you guys have any sort of inclination on what y'all do? From my perspective, I think if all
offensive tackle
was there, you sprint the pick to the podium because it's a blue chip prospect at a blue chip position, offensive tackle, edge, quarterback, right? So I think you have to do that. If they aren't there, then I think we have the discussions about Roma Dunze, about Malik Neighbors. I personally think with their second pick, Bears should be going line. And the reason I'm asking, I personally am a huge draft pundit. I love talking draft. Elijah knows this. I watch Senior Bowl highlights. And I've been like wanting to be like, you guys also are picking at 9. Can we talk about that a little bit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I want offensive tackle for sure. I'll make it simple.
Well, yeah, I do want an offensive tackle, but more specifically, but we can wait till later rounds to get this. We need a fucking center. We need a center. Because Feely and fucking white hair, these guys ain't it, man. Much like Braxton Jones, I feel like Braxton Jones ain't really quite that guy at that left tackle spot.
He's fine. Which is it's fine to be fine.
He's a swing. He's a swing tackle.
Chip at left tackle, arguably the second most important position on the team.
Absolutely,
you upgrade that over a fine guy versus someone who's fine at defensive tackle or safety or guard. Or whatever.
No, Braxton Jones is best suited as a swing. DJ, you have a take on this?
I don't give a fuck about nobody but quarterback.
Honestly, I like that. I respect it. If
you don't figure it out, I don't care who at tackle.
So wait, DJ, do you watch college and see
we just gotta figure it out. I don't know.
Okay, so even with that in mind, because we might be potentially replacing or getting another corner or even a safety for that matter. What corner or safety sticks out to you in this draft?
Quinyon Johnson
could be potentially looking.
I'll be honest. I really haven't checked it out like that, but I feel like you can get them. I think like you can get corners and receivers in every single round.
Absolutely,
because everybody is just so athletic and running around. I mean,
so
Greg Woolen a couple of years ago.
Yep.
So again, if you're gonna go early, if you don't
Cooper DeJean, that's right.
Like offensive tackle, because again, I know people hate to love the Cowboys, but they only win a lot of games now because of their offensive line, though. Like once they built that up, they're not winning Super Bowls, but shit, they're getting in the playoffs.
Games.
Yeah, Noah hates the Cowboys more than anyone I know, and he'll acknowledge like, yeah, they're good at doing certain things. Like
actually, I hate the Cowboys more than anyone.
But I even give them credit. A year in advance, they got Tyler Smith, who's turned into a phenomenal left guard who might kick back out to tackle. They had Frederick for years. They still have Zach Martin. Even on the right side, they went from La'el Collins to Terrence Steele, And it's not, again, the Eagles do it. I am very lucky. I got lucky that the position that I played as a high school player and the thing I like to coach and the thing that I enjoy the most was the thing that my team happened to invest the most in. I have always had elite offensive lines as an Eagles fan.
It's crucial. So
I'm very lucky that way.
So are we saying offense? So what are we saying, DJ? We're saying offensive line is what you would probably go with.
Now, if someone at that point wants to trade up for like a Jaden Daniels type, I think for sure you look at moving back and taking the center from Oregon. The guy with 3 names, he absolutely dominated the Senior Bowl, which is just like not a thing that offensive lineman. You're not as an offensive lineman, you're not supposed to win your one-on-ones at the Senior Bowl. That is a defensive line skew drill, and he just shut people down.
Now, listen, personally, for that number 9 pick, I would love to get the edge rusher from UCLA.
Latu?
Latu.
Solid.
I mean,
if he's healthy, the top 10 pick. He had to medically retire at one point. If he's healthy, he could be a steal of the draft for sure. That's a good call. I think it would be definitely that's a good one. Him and Dallas Turner, I think, are right now fighting for that. And he said there's no real elite defensive prospect, which we've had every year. It's something, either defensive tackle, an end, a corner. There's no real blue chip right now. Maybe
I think Turner, Newton from Illinois is a damn good 3-tech.
Oh yeah, I like him too.
I think he's
pretty good. Elite defensive tackle. There's a kid at Illinois, but no one really knows.
Newton,
that's what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Newton, right? Yeah,
Newton, exactly. He's damn good.
He reminds me of Kalijah Clancy last year, coming out where it was undersized.
Coming out of Pittsburgh.
Gonna be.
I like Kalijah Clancy because his name rhymes with my name.
I think you would.
Speaking of Newton, DJ, I want to ask you, which quarterback did you like playing with more, Cutler or Cam? Sorry to put you on the spot, but
I love Cutler though.
I think we're at that level,
and not on the field. He used to come up to the house play video games, on the field. He would come. I stayed in some random little apartment thing. He would come over and play the game.
I can see that.
This guy's really coming. I don't know if he just liked playing video games or what.
But did you say Cam or Cutler?
Cool, laid back, but they both were fine though. They different.
I know Cutler was ripping cigs too. I know.
Listen. I actually met Cam Newton here in Atlanta. So the LA Fitness I was going to, he actually plays basketball. So Cam Newton is actually way fucking bigger than he even looks on TV.
I'm
so 6'4", 230. He's about 6'5", 6'6".
So wait, he's at the gym playing basketball. Look, I go to LA Fitness and I play some ball.
LA Fit.
Imagine just going to LA Fitness and it's just Cam.
I'm at the court. I got next. Hey, Noah, go take that charge. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because Cam is from here, so I mean, his family obviously are still here. But when I saw him, I was just like, shit, he is huge. Like, he's not bigger than I thought he was. But I do appreciate his candor and his take on game managers versus game changers.
And his own career.
What do you think about what he's been saying about some of these quarterbacks that he's mentioned when it comes to game changers versus game managers? What's your take on that?
For me, I think everybody, it's your job as a quarterback to manage the game.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to say that.
You manage it until you need to change it.
Yes.
That's an interesting point. But even with managing it, you're managing it within the confines and with the cognitive, the talent and the intangibles that you would fucking have.
No, so you know what?
You're not asked to overdo something. Or you're not asked to do something that you're not normally doing.
What DJ just said is such a good point, and this is my philosophy. This has been my philosophy on football and quarterback. Patrick Mahomes against the Ravens, he got shut down in the second half, right? Like, he didn't score enough points. They scored 0 points. They were punting every time. They were doing this.
But he was 30 for 30.
If they were in a position where he needed to lead them to down the field to get a score, he would have made it happen. You know why? Because that's what he does. You know why? Because football is easier for him than anyone else.
And he did complete a 30-15.
Makes more sense. And when he needed to, when it was a one-score game and they needed to ice the game, he found Marquez Valdez-Scantling down the field for like a 35-yard completion.
Couldn't have handed him the ball any better.
Yep.
Perfect throw.
You couldn't have thrown the pass any better than that.
Iced the game. And the point is, Mahomes didn't have the best statistical game in the world. He managed that game very well. But are we about to sit here and call Patrick Mahomes a game manager? Absolutely not.
No.
He did what he had to do. It was the most Tom Brady playoff win that I've ever seen from a quarterback not named Tom Brady. That's
fair, but think about this, Easy. Pat Mahomes' completion percentage goes up exponentially higher in the playoffs than it does in the regular season.
Because the regular season is the preseason for him.
That fucking game, which people don't understand because the stats don't always show you everything. It's those tactical plays, it's those pivotal moments in the games, like you said, that pass he made to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That was certain points in that game where he made the right reads and the right throws at the right fucking time.
They say numbers don't lie, but numbers lie. Numbers lie all the time. Like that's what
you need them to mean.
Yes, they exactly. And when they fit my narrative, I'm going to say the numbers, and when they don't, I'm going to.
Mahomes is a great quarterback who can play anywhere.
DJ, what did you say?
Well, good quarterbacks, and I think starting quarterbacks that make it to the playoffs, you're a game changer. Because if I go out this game, you know what's going to change? The whole damn game. We ain't going to win it. So, because even and I think about just Tom Brady, and most of his significant wins wasn't like, we just ain't playing great offense. We playing good defense, really good defense, and that at a pivotal moment.
You're not Lorenzo.
Good job. You made the play. But that's your whole job. If you look at the playoffs now, they're not just throwing the ball around all work. They don't have all those targets, but he ain't throwing no interceptions. So he just does.
And he's not taking sacks. He
went against the best defense in football and didn't get sacked but one time, man. And that was like towards the end of the damn game. And threw no fucking picks. He got no turnovers, but yet Lamar Jackson going against Steve Spagnuolo's defensive scheme and the damn defense in Kansas City, he got sacked 4 times and got picked off once and got strip sacked once. So that defense has been – they have been riding the wave of that fucking momentum that they've had since they got into the damn playoffs, where no one gave Kansas City a chance to even make it past the first damn game. And yet here they are in the Super Bowl again. And that's why you can't count them out.
Well, that's one thing I would not say. No one gave them a chance. It's a weird thing. You can't go against Mahomes until they
Thank you.
You can't.
I guess I mean, if no one gave him a chance, that would be that's a little bit
well, DJ, think about how bad and inconsistent that team was playing. So mind you, Kansas City was one of the worst second half teams scoring wise in the league. And not to mention all the goddamn drops, not to mention Matt Nagy's shitty ass, inconsistent ass play calling that looks very fucking different than Eric Bieniemy being the damn play caller that he was there.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell when Nagy's got some plays in there. You could definitely tell.
Nagy's in the Super Bowl with a team,
and Bieniemy's out of a job again. What a world we live in.
That's a bunch of bullshit too, by the
now
way.
You want to talk about privilege hires. Okay, let's talk about Eric.
That's a bunch of bullshit. The Eric Bieniemy hasn't even been given a fucking chance to be a head coach after the damn immense success he had with Kansas City, helping him game plan for 2 Super Bowl rings that he fucking helped them achieve. That's some bullshit. Meanwhile, you got people who don't deserve the goddamn jobs being given opportunities for little to no goddamn experience whatsoever. That's some bullshit.
Brandon Staley was an NFL head coach.
Well,
come on.
How, man? Anthony Lynn was not given that opportunity with the damn Chargers.
Well, no, the issue with the enemy is that all his former players don't like him.
I don't care. Does he get the job done? That matters.
No, he doesn't get the job done because if I don't like you, I got to be able to sign free agents. You can't talk down to me. You can't do this certain stuff. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't.
He's effective did he get the job done in Washington?
No, he did not. No, he did.
He had Sam Howell throwing for 4,000 goddamn yards.
Again. No,
Sam Howell.
Everybody throws for 4,000 yards these days. Come on,
nobody on our fucking team does. Nobody on our goddamn team does. We still have yet to have a 4,000-yard pass.
But you making a valid point. That's why we don't need Fields. We got to go somewhere else. You made a valid point.
I'm sorry. Y'all threw that softball down the middle.
That was an Ethan pitch. That was a softball. That was beautiful.
I love that. I did throw that to him though.
They all put it on the team and say, "Hey, fat boy, go hit that thing." And I said, "Okay."
All right, listen. Yeah, I think that's a good place to kind of wrap up this. I do want to. We're going to pay a bill, and then I do want to shift gears briefly. We're going to talk a little about the Super Bowl because we've gone for a very long time, which is good. Good discourse, good conversation, a lot of good people chiming in and whatnot. Always a good thing. So I'm going to pay some bills. We're going to show this Moore's beer ad. We're going to talk about some Super Bowl, make our predictions. I know I have mine. I know Noah's. I'd love to hear DJ and Mr. Chicago's as well. So let's talk about some beer. Tell me something, Ken. Let's hear this.
Listen, shout out to my man Terrence from Chicago's Clubhouse podcast from the Moore's Brewing Company here in Chicago, Illinois. All right, we got bros out here putting out this for the Moors. It's tasty. I didn't even have to come on here lying about this. All right, this tastes like what I like when I drink a beer. I don't drink a beer often because I'm too big and I need to stay off of carbonated drinks. But this is the carbonated drink you need to open up and crack and take a sip. All right, if you want to come out of the dark ages, be educated. All right, get you some of this Moore's brewed right here. It's definitely tasty. You can get it in Kimbark and High Park.
Whoa. I thought we were a team. Where's mines? And when are we getting in Tempe, Arizona?
I guess we're going to have to find out, man. But everybody out there, for here from Chicago, go to Kimbark and pick you up some Moors.
Yeah, I'm not a beer guy, but if I was, probably be a Ken Moore's beer guy. That's for sure.
Shout out Ken Moore.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, maybe he's distantly related to DJ. Probably not, because they spell it different and it's a different name. You know what? I take that back. I'm sorry I even said that, DJ. Anyway, yeah, so we got a big game coming up. And Keith Sperry, thank you for your prediction. He got 38-28 Chiefs winning. Let's go ahead. Let's go around. I'm going to go ahead. I'll make mine first because it's my show. I got the... Look, I think the Niners will put up a fight. I think the Niners want it more, for sure. I think the Niners, they're thirsty, they're hungrier for this win. They've been so close too many times to lose, which is exactly why they are not going to win. I think that the Chiefs, they have the ultimate trump card, whose name is Patrick Mahomes. He's going to set them over the edge, and they're going to repeat as champions. It's going to be a good game. I think the Chiefs will have the edge throughout most of it. The Niners will keep it competitive, but in the end, the Chiefs get the win, and I'm going to give my score. It's going to be a scoregami 32-26 Kansas City. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear DJ, and then we'll go back up Mr. C and then Noah.
Every now and again, superheroes lose. It makes the movie look good for the next year.
That's true.
And I think when you're talking Avengers, the 49ers have it all. At every tier, receivers, you got this and that. At tight end, you got this. At offensive line, at running back. The only one thing that you really don't have the quarterback, and he's he's like the missing link. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think the defensive line. I think the Niners defense have been playing not that good, but I think the defense line. Everything is gonna come in. I think they're gonna run away with it. I'm gonna go 34, like 17 or something. You
think Patrick Mahomes is only gonna score 17?
I think that's the only way the Niners are going to win if they run off with it.
Happened
So
before,
that's what I'm saying. So I think 34-17. Let me do that. I think.
And by the way, you said superhero has to lose every now and then. Are you saying the NFL is scripted?
No, I just think that sometimes it makes good stories.
No, I hear you.
So somebody has to lose, and then somebody got to make.
No, I know.
About NFL being scripted and da.
I like to ask that question because I think it's funny, but
that's Swift crying or something. It got to be something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's always a little something, right? No, but I appreciate that answer. It's a good. I can't see it happening, but it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. Let's see, Mr. C. What do you think?
Here's the thing about San Francisco. So to DJ's point, they do have all pro, all world, every goddamn way on their team. And they are in more win now than they've ever been. So if they don't win this, it's going to be a long ass time before they get back in this position to win it again, because they got a lot of contractual obligations going to the offseason next year, where they're going to have to move some money around to hopefully keep as many of these all-pro guys as possible. And so with all that said, man, Mahomes, shit. He's the most talented fucking quarterback I've ever seen in my life play this fucking game. And he looks like he's just having fun. He is not trying to play football. He is just out there just fucking doing it, man.
Yep.
He makes plays out of no fucking place. I would love to see him go 3-1 in the Super Bowl, more so than be 2-2. I do think it's going to be a close game, but San Francisco defense has been a letdown for the most part in the damn playoffs. They have not been as dominant as everyone scripted them to be. This front four, who's supposed to be the most dominant front four in the damn league, ain't been getting many goddamn sacks on any fucking body on Jared Goff, on Jordan. They got no damn touches on Jordan Love, which is fucking unbelievably just that's
Sad.
Terrible to know that. You didn't get that one damn pressure or one sack on him. That's ridiculous. That damn Green Bay line ain't that damn great. Y'all got 4 first-round picks on this damn line, and y'all can't get one sack? Y'all paid both all that goddamn money to him to do nothing? So, listen,
they lost. It's okay. It's over.
The fact that Mahomes did what he did against Baltimore's defense, despite only scoring 17 points, he still made the right critical throws in the most critical moments of that game to help them win that game without being touched, without a damn ball being coughed up out of his hand. I don't see San Francisco getting enough pressure on Mahomes to win this game. I do think early on is going to get tough. It's going to be close. I do think it's going to be a one-score game where it's going to come down to San Francisco having to go down the field to score a touchdown to win the game, and they're not going to be able to do that. So I do think that Kansas City will win this probably 27-23. I do think that it could be somewhere within that realm where that 4-point game is okay. Mahomes had the ball last and he scored. Now San Francisco has the ball last, and now I don't think Brock Purdy's going to be able to get that ball down the field in time for him to score a damn touchdown and win that game. So,
right, that's a fun score too. 27-23. That means that tells me a lot of fun, interesting things happen in that game. You know, so I'm with it. And that's really what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for a fun game. So yeah, I like that. And Noah, what do you think?
I'll keep mine relatively short. My thought process is very simple. Chiefs have damn well earned their spot in this game. They've beaten some really good teams, look damn good doing it. Let's call it what it is. Feels like San Francisco fell ass backwards in the Super Bowl, right? Like we can say that. I'm sorry, this is not me being an Eagles. This is not me being an Eagles fan. Last year's Eagles team dog walks this Niners team. They should have lost to Detroit. They arguably should have lost to Green Bay. In sports, that shit catches up to you. More often than not, it's that shit catches up to you. I think Pat's going to have a great game. I think Andy is going to call a phenomenal game. I think their defense is way better than people are giving them credit for. This might be a little bit bold. 28-16 Chiefs. I think they go out 2 scores early and are thoroughly ahead by 2 scores the entire game.
So we got a couple of
the Chiefs defense is number 2 in points allowed a game this year.
They were also. Oh, this is a big thing. Thank you for the reminder. This is a big thing that was in my head. I was talking about it earlier. The Chiefs, I believe, have the third-ranked third down defense. San Francisco's is 25th.
Yeah.
That is so huge.
That is not good. You give him Mahomes the game by letting his ass
and
convert
that's why
on third down
2016,
like
I think they convert their third downs and get their touchdowns.
Yes.
I think the Chiefs or the San Fran struggles to do so and has to kick field goals and is therefore trailing all game.
Really, the Chiefs have put together, like throughout their dynasty, really just a clinic of complementary football.
You could argue this is their most complete team.
And yes, well, yeah, and the funny thing is like no one at receiver really like blows you away.
Scares you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But what they do is they convert their third downs. It feels like, and look, I don't know the number exactly, but it feels like whenever they have a third and long, they're gonna get it. Somehow Mahomes will find a way. And they stop people on defense on third down. And to me, like third down, third down's the most underrated stat. Like just as a fan watching.
I don't think that at all. I mean, it's very rated. It's rated high, pretty damn high.
You think people acknowledge it well enough? That's fair.
Yeah,
I guess I'm in some fantasy football circles where they only care about like turnovers, interceptions.
Fantasy football doesn't count for real defense. It's not how the world works.
No.
Yeah, no.
No,
I'm
sorry, I
don't
have any. I don't have the argument, the brain power for it.
Yeah.
But no, I think that Kansas City performs better on the key downs, and they get the key stops when they need to. Again, it feels like San Fran kind of fell into this game, and in any other year probably wouldn't have made it.
Now, I do think, though, to San Fran's defense.
Welcome to the show, Emily.
The best way for San Francisco to win this game is if they tire that goddamn defense out by running the fucking ball all day.
Which they can do.
With Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
McCaffrey,
but on the flip side,
he is the fucking tough person to bring down.
Carries. It would not surprise me at all to see Pacheco have like 25 for 160 and just don't let because they have that vertical offense in San Fran. I would keep the ball out of his hands. Do what the Eagles did to Pat last year. Just flip the script. Just say we're going to have the ball. We're going to make sure we score touchdowns, not field goals. So when you get the ball, you're only going to get a couple possessions. And then because my defense is so good, I know I'm going to kick field goals. I win. I think that's the game plan.
The funny thing about that. My comment actually has nothing to do with what you just said. Sorry. But I do want to say in my parlay, I do, and I want to give this to the world. I got Kyle Juszczyk scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because he got a touchdown last time these two teams met in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think he finds the end zone again. He's a fullback.
Or running it in. What do you think?
I think it'll probably be like a wheel route where they're so busy trying to cover up McCaffrey. What's that play, Noah and DJ? I get there's like the double Texas route for the running back. We got one on one side, one. Is that?
Or you're talking about the one Texas route and one flat route?
Yeah. Yes,
just Texas and flat. Just the combo.
Okay, cool.
But right. Either you're trying to put the linebacker and make him. Do you want to take knee to the inside of the field or go to the flat wherever he doesn't go?
They'll be so worried about Kittle and Debo and McCaffrey that Juszczyk will find his way into the end zone.
How much of an impact do you guys think Travis Kelce is going to be in this game?
Massive.
Well, huge. Even if he doesn't have the biggest statistical output, because you gotta stop him.
I watch the box we see, and especially when especially if Pacheco can get going, and they have to stuff the box, and now they can't bracket on top of Kelce. That's going to be massive.
And if you watch the box, to see what Fred Warner does with Kelce,
one has a good game, one doesn't, but one always will.
Yeah, and Warner, Fred Warner is going to be the one responsible for Kelce more than anyone else is. So
which is going to put more pressure on Dre Greenlaw to cover the flat.
And look, I just want to say, look, and you're right, absolutely. And we were talking about Dre Greenlaw, Noah, and Fred Warner in coverage and how they're so good at that, that specifically. And I want to say, when these two teams met in the last Super Bowl, and the fact that they're playing again, it wasn't my first matchup choice. I definitely didn't necessarily want this. But now that we're here, it's like, okay, I want to see this game. This is a good game between two really good teams. I know Noah, obviously, you actually had a good team for most of the year, so obviously, it's not as. Yeah, sure, but it's not as positive for you.
I'm still a Jalen Hurts fan, man.
You and me both. Yeah. Look, Jalen can't help it if we're calling bubble screens to a tight end with Devontae Smith blocking on 3rd and 8. I don't know what the fuck Jalen's supposed to do about that one.
Well, then what's Justin supposed to do?
But regardless,
Exactly.
my point. There we go again. Point being, I think that the way I'll put it, a lot of you know, I'm a big pro wrestling fan. It reminds me of like those mid 2010s when it was like John Cena and Randy Orton, when it's like, okay, I've seen these same guys fight 1,000 times. Sure, one more time, why not? They can both go. He'll hit an RKO. It'll be cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
That's how it feels to me. Like, okay, I've seen Randy.
What the hell is even that?
DJ, what do you think is going to be the deciding factor in this Super Bowl game?
I just think it's defensive line for San Fran. If they can get after him, I think they're gonna make him look. I think they're gonna make him look bad because they invested a lot in this defense.
Hear me out.
And those guys, and I think having an extra week to be healthy, they should come out. Especially like you said, they walking ass backwards into the Super Bowl. I think you're lucky to be here, so I think they'll get out there.
You're kind of going, holy shit, we made it. All right, let's go play.
So I think it's a battle of defense because technically, I guess Kansas City, you can argue that not doing a regular season, doing the playoff, they got the best defense in the league during the playoffs.
Yes.
San Fran's supposed to have.
They supposed to.
In the Super Bowls, always it seemed like the games are low scoring.
Yeah.
And then at the end, everything starts to like
open
up.
Fireworks. But I think if San Fran D line, play like they supposed to, kind of like they did whenever they played Aaron Rodgers, and it seemed like every time you snap it, it was like sack. Then ain't shit ain't nothing you can do.
You got a dark horse MVP candidate, Chase Young. Chase Young, I was going to say.
It doesn't end up being San Fran, Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, really? I'm saying Chase Young.
I was going to say
either one of them going to get paid, though. So if you,
I was going to say both.
Oh, yeah.
You think Bosa comes alive a little bit? I like that.
Well, look, if they won,
pay all this fucking money, he better come alive.
And Bosa running his fucking mouth too, although he's not
a lot.
Look, no, I have a lot of
that. Chris Jones is going to show the fuck up. We know that he has the most sacks in postseason history in the NFL. That is fucking unreal, man.
And San Fran's interior offensive line is not elite, whereas the Chiefs' offensive interior is elite.
Nick Bosa, I got a lot of problems with him personally, but he could ball. And I do think had the Niners held on last time they met in the Super Bowl, I think Bosa was a candidate for MVP. I think he had a couple sacks that game. I know he's more likely to win MVP hypothetically if the Niners win this game. But I think it would be funnier if Chase Young won it. I just think it'd be funny because people shit on Chase Young now, and
he didn't do anything the entire year.
Yeah, and then he shows up.
Really hasn't been. I was looking for him to okay, he's playing with his college buddy now over here from Ohio State again. They're just gonna just wreck any goddamn line.
There were a couple of Bears fans, and I know there were, because I remember y'all. There were a couple of y'all who were mad about that it was Montez Sweat and not Chase Young. There were some of y'all in chat. And I
was okay with either one, but I like Sweat more, especially given his production. His production stood out to me more.
Elijah and I had an entire discussion.
Chase Young.
No. To be fair, I was inquisitive. I was like, wait, why did we do this? Not like, oh, we shouldn't have done this.
No, right.
It was an act of desperation.
You were like, Chase Young's so much better, and I'm like, Montez Sweat's
no. I didn't say that. I said wait, isn't Chase Young better? I don't know. I don't watch Washington. I don't watch Washington.
He's younger. He's not better though.
Right.
And he's the name. He had the name value.
And also, I just remember him being so hyped out of college. Too, and I remember.
He was damn good.
If he played good in the Super Bowl, don't worry, he'll
right. But you show up on
if
Sunday,
he plays good in the Super Bowl,
talking about what you didn't do from weeks 10 through 17. As long
if he plays good in the Super Bowl, then he better not leave Vegas because the Raiders are going to give him a bag because that's what the Raiders do. The Raiders pay players after they win Super Bowl MVP. They did that to Desmond Howard. They did that to Malcolm Smith. They did that to Larry Brown. Super Bowl.
No, Malcolm Smith and Bruce Irvin, both of them.
Yeah.
And who?
Bruce Irvin.
I don't know. Bruce Irvin never won MVP.
No, you're right. I'm confusing him and Malcolm Smith. Thank you.
Right. But no, Malcolm Smith, Bruce Irvin, Desmond Howard, all paid by the Raiders after.
But Bruce Irvin won that Super Bowl with Seattle, and he came over there.
Right. He didn't win MVP. Right. You're right.
He was part of that.
Super random, weird MVP. Yeah.
And we talk about Noah and I talked yesterday about how the Raiders do love to just get random washed up players all the time. That's just kind of what they do.
The Raiders basically do it how we all play Madden. They just
yeah.
Listen, if they want our number one pick, they will give us Max Crosby for it.
No. Noah talked me out of this one. Noah talked me out of this one. I'm not gonna lie. I was with you, but then I realized, look, why we can't do this with the defense this much. We can't.
No. I'm with you. I'm just poking fun at that because I've seen it
fair,
a bunch of times. Okay. But no, I am of the mindset that this fucking offense has to lead this team.
Yes.
Not the defense any fucking more.
And no offense, obviously, DJ. We know you're a defensive guy.
What y'all done defensively, y'all been great, but I'm tired of living in that fucking era now. I need out. This is a pass-heavy, score-often kind of league now. We got to put up fucking points. And the one stat that I always bring up is the stat that you don't see. It's the stat that ain't on the goddamn stat sheet, which is how many goddamn touchdowns we left on that fucking field. That stands out to me more than anything else because I'm sitting here looking at opportunities that we've gotten in scoring territory that we did not capitalize on. And that shit is alarming as fuck to me. And that has to stop. We need touchdowns.
Go Bears,
we need
go
wins.
Caleb, go Chiefs.
Yes. So take Caleb and let's get a good game. Let's get a good game. Anyway, guys, thank you, of course, as always, for being on the show. Always fun chopping it up with you fellas.
Great being on as always, gentlemen.
Yes, and congratulations to the great Devin Hester and, of course, Steve McNichol, Julius Peppers, but mostly our guy, Devin, because,
yes, sir. And Mongo. And Mongo.
And thank you, of course, DJ, for, joining us. We're all grateful for the memories you brought us during your time in Chicago. You never had I don't think you ever had a losing season with us.
Yeah, it was always pretty much about 500. So you might be right.
Yeah, I think it was usually a little better, but yeah. Anyway, this has been Easy Does It. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Chicago Clubhouse Network. We do a lot of really fun shows. She Said What She Said is back. They stream on Thursday nights.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, our flagship program, which is Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. Make sure you tune into that every Tuesday night. And I will be on every Friday night, although probably not as much during the off season, but I'd like to do some shows. There's a lot to talk about. And, tons of, especially, and we got to remember, the Bears are in good position in the draft. Like, they better not fuck this up, but it is an enviable position.
Fuck ups.
Number one pick, coming off a season of improvement where we were bad, but we weren't the worst team. It could be a lot worse for the Bears. And I'm hoping that, we really take that next step up next year. But we'll talk about it a lot on the show and on this network. And I've talked for a while. And this has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production, but I'm going to let Terrence tell you that.
This has been a